Excuse me?
Are you renting that thing?
Oh, no, I bought it.
You bought it? Okay. We bought one for my mother-in-law, and she, in the end, does not use it, but it's a really compact little travel one that does a great job. And it's super quiet. You can't even hear it.
Well, this is pretty cool. You can't hear this.
I can hear it from here.
Really?
So can D. But we got super X-ray.
Is it too loud to be on?
No, I don't think it's picked up by the... Once we have earphones on, nobody can hear it, so people will be calling in. What in the hell is that sound in the studio?
Are you running a lawnmower?
If you start doing like a respirator, then...
No, it doesn't.
That'll be different, you know?
Put it under there. That should mute it a little bit.
Shannon said Tom was in here yesterday.
Was he? No, he was here yesterday.
Yeah.
In here?
Yeah.
In studio?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a super fun show. We had Frank Duran and Stephanie and John Clace and tons of calls. And so, Chris, he's off today because he's getting an iron solution infusion because he lost so much ability to produce iron during his cancer treatments. And he was like critically low, and they finally figured it out. And they said that explains a lot of those like really weak time, his weekdays. They said if you don't have iron, you're going to be weak and confused and generally.
Well, you can't transport oxygen if you don't have iron in your system.
Right. Well, yeah. So there are many benefits to it, not the least of which is actually oxygen delivery to where you need oxygen. Like, brain.
Very optional.
Yeah. So, but the infusion takes like 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Because they have to go super slow.
Right.
So you had to take the whole day off, and then we're not sure
One of my
the rest.
paralegal's husband has MS and has to get infusions all the time, and they're similar. It's like just take half the day off and plan on sitting there and bring a book, bring a movie, whatever. You're not going anywhere fast,
Yeah.
That's got to be hard to just sit there for...
Oh, yeah.
Especially for Tom.
It's like a freaking flight across country and then back half the way,
Except you don't get to go anywhere cool.
45 years strong. Solving your problems, answering questions, taking complaints. This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, good morning. This is the Troubleshooter Network, and you are listening to the oldest show of its kind that's here to help solve problems, take complaints, and generally help you with everything that's going on in your life. So if you've got somebody that's scamming you, you've got a problem at work, you've got a problem with an accident or an injury case. I'm a personal injury attorney here in town, and for the next 4 hours, I'm going to be here and available to answer your questions. And joining me in the studio today is the honored guest, Chris Console. And Chris is here. And I think everybody knows that Chris is a bathroom remodeler with DiscountBath.com and is here to answer questions about all things bathrooms. And any question you have, if you're a do-it-yourselfer and want to get a super good hint or tip on the side here of how to do things, give us a call. If you've made mistakes and are trying to figure out how to undo something you did, that's a good thing to call us about as well. I've probably got a few of those stories to talk about. But also here in the studio, we've got Deputy D, Dimitri, who is always a wealth of knowledge and help, and then Deputy Doc, who joins us today. So we just have a wealth of knowledge, but on the off chance that you happen to have a question that doesn't fall within the area of expertise that's connected here or contained here within the studio, we have a whole list of experts that are ready to dial in and answer your questions. So don't be a stranger. 303-713-8255 is the number. Give us a call. So how's everybody doing? Dimitri?
Good, John. And on the topic of experts, it's like that really popular TV show. Did you ever see Pawn Stars? It's on one of the...
Yes.
And they always have the experts coming in.
Yep.
Tom Martino's expert brigade predated that show by many, many, many years. We've got experts in insurance, in law, in real estate, in contracting and remodeling, auto repairs. There is no topic that we can't run by our experts live on the air and get people real-time help.
And that's really the essence of the show. I mean, it wouldn't be the same to just have one guy sitting here throwing advice out for half the things that they don't know anything about. The coolest part of that show and the coolest part of this one is that you're actually getting people that have expertise in the area of the problem that you're calling about.
And free.
And it's free. So how can you do much better than that? I don't know that it even exists.
Look at this. We've got a big-time personal injury attorney here.
Big time.
Thousands of dollars an hour. By the way, that explains the gold Rolls Royce I saw parked in the fire lane.
Yep.
And John, if anybody wants to play that game, do I have a case? I slipped on a banana peel in front of Phillips 66. Do I sue them or the Walmart that's catty corner from them?
You sued Dimitri. That's the answer.
Good advice. Sound advice.
Or the people who imported the bananas.
You could always do that. That'd be a little bit more challenging in the old jurisdictional department. You'd have to probably go find that big ship that brought them in or something like that. So, Chris, what's going on in your world?
Oh, we're just remodeling bathrooms.
Yeah.
Keeping pretty busy. Yeah. Going to go take the team golfing today.
Nice.
Yep. As soon as we get done here. So just some stuff like that going on.
Yeah. Nice, cool day to do that in.
Yeah, it's a lot. But probably
Awesome.
be windy too. So.
Now, it is a little breezy out there. Is this the busiest time of the year for you? Quietest time of the year? How does it really work for your business?
So it's busy as installs, and we're relatively busy. Spring is when things really go crazy.
Okay.
Tax returns, home shows, coming out of the winter, everybody's starting to do projects. This month is hit or miss in that a lot of people are on vacation.
Gotcha.
Doing yard work, so it slows down just slightly and then picks back up through the summer, and then Christmas is slow.
Chris, I assume that means you can start and finish projects a little bit faster this time of year than you would during your busy time of the year, right?
Not necessarily.
Sorry.
So that's all right. So what ends up happening is we were really busy for 3-4 months, right? So now we have all those jobs to put in. And so those are all going in right now. But we, as a matter of fact, we've brought on 3 new crews. So
Wow.
We can get them in now.
Yeah, and I remember you telling me a few months ago, I don't think we talked about this on the air, how quickly you can do a bathroom transformation.
Yeah, it depends on the size of the bathroom, but a typical tub to shower, depending on what we find when we tear the walls out, 1 to 3 days. Typically
That's a miracle.
2.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a miracle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, is that, you always see those commercials that are like, we do a bathroom in 1 day or less or something like that. Is there a threshold where quality starts to, let me put it differently. If you're absolutely intent on doing it in 1 day or less, are there corners that have to be cut, or are there lesser qualities of materials that have to go in?
1 day is really challenging, and it's a really long day for a really good installer.
Okay.
And that's tearing it out down to the studs and the subfloor and then redoing it. So the answer to your question is yes. If it's being done in 1 day and it's not the top-notch person and a long day at that, it's probably having corners cut.
So does that dictate, though, a certain level of materials? Like, you can't let tile dry for 2 hours and start grouting it,
that
right?
would never be a tile shower, ever. Tile typically, a tile shower is probably going to take most of a week to do right.
Gotcha.
So we're talking about solid walls.
Solid walls.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That was always my concern. Was like, how in the world?
No way to do it.
You just can't not.
There's no right way to do that in one day.
Right.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. That's interesting.
Hey, so Chris, now I'm glad you brought up tile. You don't just do the solid one-piece shower conversions, right? You do offer tile installation, tile floors, tile walls for the shower.
Correct. So we have quality material selection, but we do tile, we do crushed stone, and we do acrylic for wall material in showers.
Wait, what's crushed stone?
Crushed stone is it's a fancy name for a really pretty polymer product that's got some crushed stone in it.
Right.
Oh, is it
But it's still a
similar to the
solid
countertops that they make countertops
Similar.
out of it? It's like a mix of resin and real stone.
It's not a true quartz, but it's similar to that. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So we do that. We do LVP. We do tile. We do vanities. We do quartz countertops.
What's LVP?
Luxury vinyl plank.
Ooh.
it sounds really good because it is.
And what's that used for? Is that floors, walls?
It's flooring.
Oh, okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, very durable, inexpensive, really, compared to putting tile in. Goes in quickly.
Right.
It's a great product, actually. Easy to clean, a little bit warmer to stand on than tile.
Cool. I'd like to discuss that a little bit more during today's show. When got a call on the line though. So
All right.
Yep. We're going to go and talk to Francesca here for a moment. Francesca, what's going on with you?
Hi there. My name's Francesca. I'm in Thornton, Colorado.
Okay.
I'm disabled, and I'm in the middle of a probate case. My mother died 3 years ago, left the house for me to live in till I pass, and then the house goes to my brother. But
Okay.
they're trying to put me in the street and sell the house now, and there's a small mortgage. I'm on disability. I'm paying the mortgage right now. He was paying it. My mother left money to pay for it, but I've never seen any monies, no statements, no anything, and I need a probate lawyer because we're in probate court, and it's way over my head. I'm a disabilities advocate for older Coloradoans and persons with disabilities.
So-
but I need help now.
Okay, so hold on, Francesca. So you received, if I'm understanding you correctly, a beneficiary's deed that gives you the right, essentially a life estate in the property, and then as soon as you pass, it goes automatically to your brother. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, but
there's a small mortgage on it, so the bank has the deed.
well, I understand, but the small mortgage, I mean, you still have ownership. They just have a lien on the property. They don't actually have a deed that says that they own it. They just,
Right.
the property just secures their loan. Is that right?
Correct.
So how much do you owe the bank?
74.
And how much do you think the property is worth?
Between 360 and 400,000.
Okay. So, Francesca,
It's original 54 house, 1954 in Thornton, Colorado. It was one of the first houses for the GIs. A lot of people migrated from the San Luis Valley up there.
I know for a fact what you're talking about. Francesca, we'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to try to get somebody
Right.
on the phone that can help you. So hang on. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
You bet. So we probably need to get, who is our probate attorney there?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. I'm ready. I'm up for it. Compass Insurance Group, 303-996-9000 or theinsurancehelpcenter.com. How many times have you heard us get Brian Burns on the air to weigh in on insurance problems? Anything that has to do with shopping insurance, insurance coverage, making claims the right way, getting paid by the insurance company. Brian Burns knows more about this than anyone else we know combined. Compass Insurance Group, 303-996-9000. Thank you. 30 seconds right on the
Adam?
spot.
Right on the nipple.
Can we get the, who is our wills and estate guys?
Dan McKenzie.
Dan McKenzie. Can we try to get Dan on the phone, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Hey, by the way, speaking of luxury vinyl, can you make pants for Dimitri?
Vinyl.
Only for you.
I can hear him squeaking now.
Oh, God. Do you know how sweaty that would
You
be?
get all sweaty and have a little,
It was big. It was big for a while.
When were vinyl pants big, for God's sake?
Briefly,
Is Monday a federal holiday?
Friday.
Oh, Friday is
Wait, this coming Friday?
what, Juneteenth or something? Or
Juneteenth.
Wait, are the banks and courts closed?
On Friday.
It's a federal holiday.
you know.
Are we closed?
There was in one of my cases, the judge was supposed to issue a verdict yesterday, and he didn't.
Okay. You better call him and tell him to get off his ass and get your damn opinion
But
ready.
do they do this?
Yes.
He's had a month since the trial ended.
He could take 6 months.
No, he can't.
He can
Yes,
do
he
whatever he
can.
wants.
I paid good money to be
No,
in.
you did not.
I didn't know they can take as long as as they want.
They're going to do what they're going to do. Okay.
Yeah.
We deal with this all the time. We have motions pending coming up to trial that we're like, you got to rule on this crap, but you don't want to call the clerk and say that we need a ruling today. Damn it. Bad answer. Okay.
Huh.
You'll find that the judge is not quite so generous in his
in his ruling, his interpretation
anymore. Yeah, he's like, unfortunately, Mr. Dimitri came up short in the evidentiary requirements.
All right, well, I'll leave it alone. I shall save my righteous
I think
wrath.
you should just simmer down and just cool your jets. And
well, I just a little unprofessional.
On you.
No, like on him to say, hey, my opinion will come out on June 16th.
Well,
that was yesterday.
Just calm yourself.
All right.
Okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm totally calm.
He'll be all right.
All right. No, I'm sure he'll be all right.
He's just trying to calculate all the money he's going to give you. Okay. It's taking a little longer. Okay.
The batteries in the calculator right now, it was such a big calculation.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, those O2 generators are stupid expensive, aren't they, Doc? Must not be listening.
What do they cost?
Well, I know the little one that I bought from my mother-in-law was over $2,000.
Yeah, it sounds reasonable for such a sophisticated thing.
That's what this costs.
$2,000. Yeah. I think there's an enormous markup in those things.
Oh, of course.
Enormous
Of
markup.
course.
And those guys market the absolute crap out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they're like with my mother-in-law, you need a prescription to get one. Right. Unless you happen to be needing it today and have cash, which case we totally believe that she's a candidate for the O2 generator. You know, it's like, come on. Unless they can figure out how to bill like Medicare for it, then they're all over that. You know, God knows what that cost.
Yeah, that's probably one of the reasons there's such a big markup is the consumer rarely actually pays for it.
Yeah,
it's always a third-party payer.
Yeah, no, we needed one like
Anytime it's other people's money, people don't care.
Right. Any luck on Dan there, Adam? Okay.
Is that a word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works. Oh, cool. I will. Good morning. John Fuller back on the Troubleshooter Network. We are live in studio and we are rocking and rolling. We are here to help solve your problems, answer your questions, take complaints. So pick up the phone and give us a call at 303-713-8255. There is really nothing that's off limits, and Francesca is proving that because she has a very interesting call involving a life estate on her mother's home, and just has a myriad of issues going on. Francesca is disabled, is living in the home, but is getting pressure to move out so that they can take possession of the home and sell it. Francesca, we are going to get another attorney on the phone that's an expert in probate and estates. That attorney is not going to be able to come on the air until 11:30. You're welcome to hang out for that time, or we can. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put you on hold and have the producer get your number, and we'll call you back and bring you on the line around 11:30, and we'll get Mr. McKenzie on the line and try our best to answer your question. Is that fair enough?
That's awesome.
All right, perfect. We'll talk to you here in about an hour. So thanks for the call. So we are going to go now to our guest of honor today, Mr. Chris Console. Chris is with DiscountBath.com, and so as you heard earlier, Chris has a number of crews. He is an expert in bath remodels, all things to do with bathrooms in your home. So if you're considering remodeling a bath, if you're debating whether or not you should upgrade a bath before you sell, if you're debating the return on investment between, say, remodeling the master bath or working on a basement or something like that, all of those things are things that he can speak to with a great deal of authority, and I'd really like to get your questions along those lines. But just to start things out, Chris, tell me kind of what are the trends that are going on in the bath remodeling industry right now?
Yeah, so in the master bathroom, one of the big trends is larger showers and getting rid of the Roman tub, either doing no tub at all or a freestanding tub. One of the questions we get a lot from folks is, do I need a bathtub in my house? And the answer is not really. It doesn't really change the value. Some of the new home builders are actually charging more to have no bathtub and just do the big shower.
They charge more to take out the bathtub?
Well, in a new build, in a new construction, it's more money to not have a tub. You've got a bigger shower, and they're upcharging
so more
for
tile
that.
and more glass and all that.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and so we often get the question: is it going to change the value of the house? Probably up, but not necessarily. You know, if you got little kids or a dog that you need to put in a bathtub, then maybe you want to keep one in the hall. But for the most part, Americans take showers.
Okay. So help me just to understand, do you typically get involved with a complete tear out, start over restoration, or are you doing retiles and stuff, or really what is the bulk of your involvement?
Yeah, so we do a lot of complete tear out and redo, whether that's just the shower area or the whole bathroom. We're equipped that we can move walls. We can take room from the closet in order to make the bathroom bigger. Depending on what you want to do, we can get pretty extensive. The majority of what we're doing is same footprint, new materials, new layout.
Okay. Do bathroom remodels typically require a permit?
It depends. If it's like for like and there's no plumbing, they do not.
Okay.
And it depends on the county and it depends on the jurisdiction. So that's not a straight answer that you can give anybody. It depends on the project.
Okay. It's not going to change the way you do the work. It's just going to change the timeline of submitting the application and waiting for the inspector when you call for an inspection and things like that, right?
That's absolutely right. It takes a lot longer, is the short
Chris,
answer.
how long does that take? And I realize it varies from one jurisdiction to another, but let's say Denver. That's probably, because most people live in Denver, that's probably where most of your clients are.
I can't hear you. What? Denver? No, I'm kidding.
Where's that again?
Yeah, so we actually don't do a lot in Denver, and if it's a permit job, we tend to just walk away from it, frankly, because it's 240 days ish for a permit.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
do you know how long that is?
Yeah, it's almost a year, 3/4 of a year.
Why is that?
Bureaucracy. It's just
Is
they
that
are very
staffing
inefficient. I
at
don't
the
know.
office,
Yeah,
or?
they just are very inefficient. Last time that we looked into it, it was 240 days. That's a few months ago, but that was the average time.
So where do you concentrate?
We're in Littleton, and we do a lot in Highlands Ranch, Castle Rock, Parker, Colorado Springs. But
that's a huge market.
Really, all the way around Denver. We do work in Denver, but again, if it needs to be permitted, we're probably not going to. It's not going to be good for you or us.
Right. Hey, Chris, does it cost money to get a permit, or is it just a matter of submitting the paperwork?
There's a cost involved.
Is it minimal?
Most of the time, yeah. Minimal. It's relative, right? So it depends on the scope of the work. The more expensive the work, the more the permit costs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a percentage of the.
It is
of the amount of the estimate for the project. So
yeah.
I mean, and I can imagine that does. Do you find that even though code is code, that the proclivities of different building departments vary from these different jurisdictions where you do your work?
For the most part, they're pretty consistent.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a national contractors code, and most of it falls under that. There's variances, but for the most part, they're.
Gotcha.
It's plumbing. It's framing. It's drywall. It's tile. It's all the same stuff.
Gotcha. How many crews do you have that you run at any one time?
So installers, we're in the neighborhood of 13. A few of our crews
13
have
crews?
Yeah,
Holy moly!
have multiple installers, so they can handle more than one job at a time. So, like I
Right.
said, we were at about 10, and we just brought on 3. So we're doing quite a bit of work.
So business is good.
Yeah.
God, I like it. I like it. So we're going to talk about a number of different things today, and we're certainly open to your questions. So if you're considering a bath remodel, if you've got other things going on in your house, and you just want to run by whether something is feasible or not, then I grew up in a small town in Georgia where we had old cast iron everything, and the pipes were original equipment and stuff. So and some areas of Denver are like that as well,
Yep.
and not just Denver, but other areas that are technically metro area. What kind of? I'm sure you have stories of stuff you've run across and crazy things that you've daylighted in the process of doing these baths.
Yeah, one of the stories I like to tell is that we sort of keep a library, I guess, or a historical museum is probably a better word, of things that we find in walls. There's just random old cans, or you'll find a pocket knife, or just
Right.
some kind of cool stuff like that. And then we've never found any money, which is a bummer. But there's always something behind the walls. And a lot of times there's stuff behind the walls that's no fun, like mold.
Ever found a body behind the walls?
No, Doc.
Right.
So
Only at your house, Doc. Come on.
I tell folks there's always a surprise, and no job there
Right.
there's always a problem. It's what we're equipped to handle it. And most of the time you're not going to know about it, but
Right.
we do. Yeah.
My old office was 115 years old, and we did some work in there. Same thing. I mean, you find old newspapers that they use for insulation, and it's cool to find a 100-year-old newspaper, and not just the headline that you may see framed up somewhere, but the stuff that's back a few pages, and Betty Lou is having a tea party this day or something, and it's in the newspaper, and you're like, they don't do that anymore.
No. I mean, most folks don't. You can't find a newspaper hardly.
Right,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
We're going to go to another break right now. Give us a call, 303-713-8255. We've got open lines right now, and we're ready for your call. So get on the phone and give us a shout.
Something's different this time around. I don't hear
In your-
music and all that.
Okay, so there's 2 buttons over there.
Yeah.
One is the program, and one
Yeah,
is
that's where the
So when we're on the air, you're going to have the program button pushed,
correct.
right?
Yep.
And then the on button to turn your mic on.
Yep.
And you're still not hearing things really well?
If I have program on, but typically when we're offline, can't I usually hear the commercials so that I know what's going on. But
Oh, you got to be on program to hear the commercials.
okay, I've been in Tom's place last few times.
Yeah,
I think
it's
I
a little
forgot.
bit different.
It's
over
totally
there,
different
so-
over there.
And then the dial is the volume,
Yeah.
so that could, who knows where the heck that is. So
All right, John, I got a couple questions for you too. Whenever you feel like just just point at me or something.
sure. Do I need to prepare, like research and study up?
No, it's supposed to be a surprise.
Oh, okay.
That way, it never sounds scripted.
Perfect. Do I ever sound scripted?
Nope.
Can I say something about next door? Want to get a minute?
Is that your neighbor or?
Well, I've been on. I just, I live in a small community, and next door is, and there's so many times when I want to say just call the show because they're complaining about a whole bunch of things. And if they call, we could really help them. So I think that'll be a good way for us to get more listeners. Like there must have been about 5 comments about this one lady, Megan Scott, who supposedly, quote, a handy woman, and apparently is just screwing everybody.
You're trying to get her to come over to your house so she can screw you too? Or?
Yes. Behind the walls.
Oh, sorry. That was like low hanging fruit.
Yeah, you got to kind
That was
of
about as easy as it comes. You gotta swing it that way.
John, what kind of law do you practice?
All personal injury, 100% plaintiffs. you know,
Yep.
mostly car accident type cases, but some premises liability, some, you know, other stuff, but all representing hurt people.
Okay.
You know, it seems to me that market must be so competitive because you
My
see,
business?
yeah, there's so many PI attorneys that advertise,
Yep.
and there must be a whole bunch of them that don't advertise. You know,
Long ago, I sold Yellow Pages advertising,
Oh, yeah?
and the personal PI attorneys they called them double trucks, 2 pages.
Yeah, though that was the big thing. My boss, when I very first got out of law school or was still in law school, had like the first 3 pages of the Yellow Pages. You know? And I mean, he must have paid a goddamn fortune.
They
for
were
that,
like
you know?
$100,000 a year. I mean,
Yeah.
they were no joke.
Which is nothing now, really. I mean, that's just not a significant advertising budget compared to how many times the phone rings when you have the first 3 pages of, you know, the Yellow Pages back in the day. But I'll get people, you know, even today sometimes it cracks me up that are like, you know, you're always like, well, how'd you hear about me? You know, oh, I saw you in the Yellow Pages. You know, like, you did, huh?
The one we get is we saw you on TV. We saw you on TV.
Exactly.
print the Yellow Pages anymore.
Only kind of like scam Yellow Pages, not the official real live Yellow Pages anymore. But
I know. Same thing when I first came out here in my practice. To buy a quarter page advert, it was so expensive, but you had to do it.
right, this guy had it locked up, and then you know the next 2 attorneys after that had 2 or 3 pages as well. So I mean, you didn't get to the cheap seats until you were like 12 pages into it, or something, you know.
Yeah. Gosh, I remember those days.
That sucks.
You can tell
that's like rejection central, isn't it?
you could tell the old companies that have been around because they all begin with A.
Yeah.
AAA.
Well, yeah, it's like this, you know, plumbing company is like, you know, AA plumbing. It gets the, you know, first bell, and then when that doesn't work anymore, it's AAA plumbing,
right.
and you know,
things have changed. Finding customers is different than it was.
Yeah, it is. Totally is. No, there's a lot of us out there, and you know, I don't have any stats on, because nobody talks. You know, nobody. It's not like we ever compare notes with our competitors, and you know, what works best for you. Nobody talks about that kind of stuff.
No.
So it's all a big, you know, you can kind of guess sometimes, like if you're driving down the road and all of a sudden because I come down Colorado Boulevard when I'm coming to work, and that's one of the few roads where they have a lot of big signs, big billboards, you know. And if all of a sudden, like, some new person you've never seen before pops up on 5 billboards, you're like, somebody must have hit a big case and then just decided to go all in or something, you know, because that stuff's not cheap.
Most of your stuff word of mouth from
Here, word of mouth, yeah, referrals from doctors that I work with and stuff. So we're prior clients. So
I know we did when it first came out, started to laser hair removal in the office, and then I realized there were 2 ways to go, and we gave it up after a year because either you have to put a bunch of advertising or give it up.
And that's kind of always the case. Good afternoon, John Fuller here, filling in for Tom Martino on the Troubleshooter Network, and we are live in the studio. We've got Chris Console live today, and Chris is with DiscountBath.com, and we're talking about bath remodels and bathroom projects and some of the things that go along with that. And we had ventured off into things you find in the walls of projects that you're doing here. And of course, Doc had some, Doc has different stuff in his walls than most other people you'll find out there. So we kind of veered off of that topic and back on track here. So I wanted to, give me some idea of, everything's more expensive these days. I get it. But give me some idea of like what a reasonable homeowner should have in mind budget-wise if they're considering a bathroom project? Maybe are there tiers of levels they should think about, or?
Yeah, that's sort of like the question: how much is a red car, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
it varies a lot, but I think a master bathroom should be 10% of the value of your home or less. That's
Okay.
a rule of thumb, right? Plus or minus. What we do is we do a complete tub to shower redo with the acrylic walls, tear down to the studs, redo everything, the plumbing, the P-trap, the supply lines, all that stuff. That is $9,888. How many eights did I get in there? $98.88.
Right.
So that's $10,000 for a shower. A hall bath, if you use, they're not cheap materials, they're budget materials, good quality, right? You can do a hall bath for around $15,000. So that gives you an idea of where you could be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so a hall bath would be what people refer to as a half bath, or?
No. A hall bath would be a tub shower combo,
Okay.
toilet, and a vanity.
And Chris, speaking of materials, how does that work? Let's say, I think most people really are very particular about the tile, right? That explains why that home and decor showroom on I-70 is about
floor
1
and decor,
million
yeah.
square feet.
Yeah.
So with your company, if I were to engage your services to remodel my bathroom, do I need to pick just from your standard catalog of tiles, or can I go to Home that Floor and Decor or someplace like it and say, look, here's the tile I want for the floor, here's what I want on the walls, here's what I want somewhere else?
Yes. So we again, there's quality in everything, right? But Floor and Decor is one of our vendors, so you can go to Floor and Decor. We like them a lot. Actually, they've got good prices and good selection. We use a smaller store that we really love. It's called TLC, and it's in Highlands Ranch. It's just off of the main highway, and she's got a really good selection of unique high-end tile, but it's not expensive. It's just nice looking.
So high-end means nice looking.
To me, it does. Yeah, it doesn't have to cost a lot to be high-end. It just looks high-end. Right?
What does expensive tile cost?
Oh my gosh, there's some stuff out there. We did a backsplash. I think it was like $150 a square foot.
Oh,
it was like
what?
it was really expensive stuff. It was designer, and it faded from one color to another, and it had to be laid in a certain pattern, and it was cool.
Yeah, I bet.
So if you're talking to a homeowner, where should they splurge? Where should they try to cut corners? What's really going to put the bang for the buck out there?
The wet space is where you want to put your money.
Okay.
That's the shower area or the tub and shower area in a master. That's really, you want that done right. You're in it every day. You want it to look nice. You definitely. There's really no corner cutting. One of the best values out there is that LVP that we were talking about earlier. Okay. So you can do a really high-end looking shower. We can do solid walls or the big tile or whatever you want to do, and an LVP floor will still look correct with that.
Right. And that the beauty of LVP is that it's resistant to water. It's perfect for a bathroom where it's going to get water on the floor and stuff like that.
Correct. And it goes in easily, and it's, like I said, it's a little warmer to stand on than tile unless you heat the floors, which I love heated floors, but again, you're adding cost.
Do you do a lot of heated floors?
We do a fair amount, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a crazy concept, but one I could appreciate at different times,
yeah, they're nice. They're really nice to step onto.
All right, we're going to go to Harold. We have a phone call he's been holding. Harold, what is going on with you, sir?
Yes, I'm looking for to get health insurance, and I want to know is the best way to go through a broker or an agent. I know the brokers go through Connecting for Health Colorado, and the agents go straight to the insurance company.
Yeah, look, I think that's a really valid question. If you go with an agent who's a captured agent or works for just one insurance company, you're going to get the best deal that one insurance company offers you. But if you go to a broker, and we've got a really good one we can recommend, they're on the referralist.com. They can shop many, many, many different insurance companies. That's what I had them do for me.
Harold, how old are you?
65.
Okay, so you're just exploring
64.
Medicare options and getting ready to. So if you're 64, you're just now fixing to go to Medicare, correct?
Correct.
So okay, so I think Dimitri just hit the nail right on the head. You really probably should consider talking to one of our brokers and getting a number of different options out there. when you just talk to one agent, that's fine if he happens to have the only plan that you're looking at, and the one that's like buying a car from a dealership that only has one model and one color. You're going to get that model and that color, but you don't have the ability to look at any other vehicles, any other colors, any other models and that kind of stuff. So. Dimitri, do you have that contact information in front of you?
Yeah, one of the places that I've actually had personal experience shopping for health insurance with them. Harold, you got something to write with?
Yes.
Integra Insurance Group. That's Integra Insurance Group, and their number is 303-466-5500.
303-466-5500.
Yeah, and ask for John Jones over there. He's the guy I dealt with to get my health insurance quotes. And if you want, take a look at the referralist.com. There are a couple of other ones over there. I just haven't been able to scroll through all of them. I went straight to the one that I called. Integra Insurance.
Integra Insurance.
Yeah, and they're a broker. They handle all kinds of. They'll quote a whole bunch of different insurance companies for you.
Yep. All right, okay, Harold, give John a call. He's a great guy. He's got a wealth of knowledge and can get you on the right track. But I'm glad that you're doing it right before you make this transition. It's so many people wait until it's too late, and then they have to skip a year and everything else. So, by all means, give John a call, and he'll take good care of you. Thanks for the call, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. So we're going to take another break here, and then we'll be right back. When we come back, we're going to have more questions for Chris Console with discountbass.com, and we're here to take your calls as well. 303-713-8255 is the number.
Yeah, you bet.
D, you good? He's good. Chris, you know what I need is a Dyson Airblade, right? The commercial hand dryer in my bathroom, but not for my hands. Picking up what I'm putting down? Thank you.
Wash your hair?
Need it to blow up or down,
a little down action and all around.
Got it.
Thank you.
You need a flexible hose on there or just directional port?
I'll bring my own flexible hose.
I'm sure you will.
Oh, goodness.
We have a neighbor that, go ahead, D.
Fix it 24/7, not just in Denver, but now in Colorado Springs. 720-526-3939 or fixmyhome.com. This is the time of year air conditioners are giving up the ghost. They're working harder than ever. This is the time to take advantage of Fix It 24/7's $39 special for new customers. They will come out, clean, inspect, lubricate, and diagnose your air conditioning systems. Catch those problems before they develop into terribly expensive disasters. 720-526-3939.
Glorious. Thank you, D.
Oh, thanks.
A neighbor that put
32 seconds, though.
Urinal.
Hey, what are you going to do?
Oh, that's okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now they're trying to sell it.
We'll fix it in post.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have to find the right buyer for that.
They hate it. It's like, what the hell are you thinking?
Not in a private home.
Yeah.
You got to. Tom brings that up a lot, but in a basement where you got a rec room or something down there, it's kind of the man cave. That'll work.
If you have nothing but a bunch of men down there watching games frequently, maybe.
Right.
But to sell that home to a family that doesn't necessarily have that, it's a turnoff.
Well, tell women it's a place to put their purse when they're peeing. Shut up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or other things.
Yeah. Turn it into a planter. Wouldn't that be nice with a ficus hanging out of it?
It sure would.
I wonder how the stock market responded to this deal with Iran.
And all the various types of hoses and attachments you can get in a shower nowadays. God bless America.
It's a beautiful thing. It reacted very well the first day, pretty well the second day, and it looks like it's still up. Still up doing okay today, I believe. Oil dropped $20 a barrel.
Did it really?
Yeah, instantly.
Yeah.
It's down at $76
Is
a
it?
barrel right now.
No
so.
kidding. Oh, yeah, there it is.
My buddy, who I play poker with, owns an oil company, and he says anything above 40, he's rolling in dough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said 40, he makes a living. Anything above that is just like free money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a friend in the oil business, and he said anything over $50 a barrel they're doing well. His number was different, but 50
Yeah.
still.
But you guys, I'm sure, have watched that Landman show, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
of course. Yeah, it's
just
great.
The numbers and stuff that they talk about at scale
Yeah.
is a whole different conversation.
Yep.
That's really cool to me. It's just,
Yeah.
Billy Bob is so good in that role, isn't he?
he's outstanding.
He's just a great actor. He really is.
He is.
Yeah.
He's an odd dude, but he does
Yes.
he does a great job, in the various roles he's had, really all along. But recently, he's had some great roles
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good show.
We should hurry up with their next.
Are you
I know,
watching?
right?
Are you watching Dutton Ranch?
Yes.
That's pretty good too.
That goes against everything I stand for to have to wait a week for the next damn episode. It's like I'm used to having like 73 episodes that we
Right.
can,
Right, you
we
can binge, yes.
binge through or
Yes.
something, But God dang, you got
It's
to wait
like
a
the
week.
old
and
days
then
when we
you're
didn't have
just
VCRs.
like, I know. It's like, what do you mean it's over? I got to wait another week. Son of a gun,
Yeah. Boy, we have changed, haven't we?
I know.
If you didn't catch it at 7:00 on Wednesday or whatever back in the day, then you didn't see it.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, back in the COVID days, binging like
Yeah.
Tiger King or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody watched that, right?
Yeah. I don't think anybody would watch that thing now if it was not everybody.
I don't know.
cooped up,
It's it's like watching a train wreck.
No.
Man.
I remember having to get up and change the channels. That
Somebody was pointing out. They were giving crap to who was it? Was it Rod Stewart that went to the went to something and went to one of the soccer games, I think, and then canceled his concert and said he had a upper respiratory infection or something. And they were giving him crap on Gutfield, and somebody said he looked like a lion tamer or something because he had this ridiculous outfit on and stuff. And the first thing I thought of was that's something that Lion King guy would wear, just.
What was that dude's name? I forgot his name.
I don't know.
now.
He was a nut, though.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know if he's still alive. He's in prison, but he wasn't well. All right, good afternoon. We are wrapping up the last hour here at the Tom Martino Troubleshooter Network, and we are looking for your phone calls. We've got open lines right now. We're going to go to a couple things here. Doc wanted to bring up a couple items.
I moved into a community where there's a bunch of what they call, what did I just say?
Old women?
No. Next door. So next door has a lot of people that have complaints or looking for people. If you're on next door and you're looking for somebody, give us a call. We'll give you somebody on the referral list. And if you have somebody that you'd like us to follow up on and see if we can get some traction to get your problem taken care of, that's what we're here for. No charge. We're happy to do it. And next door is a great place to vent. But after you're done venting, give us a call and we'll see if we can help you.
Right. I think that's a great point. I mean, there are lots of different places where you can go to allegedly seek referrals for different people out in the community that offer different services. And there is no substitute for live reviews of what people experience with different contractors. But the reality is you can't just rely on reviews alone. And so the beauty of the referral list is that the experts on the referral list are totally vetted. There's a lot of contact, and then when things come up, the vendors react and show their quality and how they handle things. And so over a period of time, we end up with a list that is just the cream of the crop. Mm-hmm. And so it may not have every single possible person that you could need, but during the course of the 40-something years that this show has been on the on the radio, we've got the ability to help you find the right people. So if you're dealing with a challenge in your own home, you're not sure where to go, you're not sure about things like Nextdoor and the other lists that are out there, start by giving the Troubleshooter Network a call and saying, this is what I want to do. Who would you recommend we give a call to?
And
that's going to save you
that's
time
the big thing, that there's accountability. Most other places, there's no accountability. But, as long as I've been here, there are very few times when one of the referral lists get a complaint. But when they do, Tom holds their feet to the fire and gets it taken care of. There's none of this, well, we can't find a guy who won't. We will find them and get them to talk to you.
Right. The reviews is an interesting game out there, and so I rely upon reviews from my customers. I'm like every business. I want my customers to tell everybody else what their experience is. But really and truly, the only one that I put any stock in whatsoever is Google and then the referral list. But they're kind of one and the same. They end up in the same place. But all the other ones that are out there, like Yelp and stuff, you don't have to look too hard to see the complaints about the way they manipulate those reviews, and they prioritize things that they think should be elevated up to being first on the page and stuff. And that is just not cool in my book at all.
No, it's very manipulative.
It is.
Yelp is really bad.
Yelp is horrible. I actually had a rep from Yelp tell me, that how wonderful if I subscribed to their service that they could elevate and promote these reviews and stuff. And it's like, well, what about the ones that have been left on there up to date? And so I had, a really great customer that left a heartfelt review, and she copied me on it, so I knew it was on there, and you couldn't find it. And so I brought it up to the Yelp rep, and I'm like, what about this one? I know this one was posted. And so they did some research, and they're like, well, we kind of push those down
until you pay us.
Until you pay us, right?
Good.
And they push it down because you're either not like a preferred person. So my poor client would never left a review before in her life. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, Yelp decided that was of lesser quality to be promoted than perhaps one of their people that's reviewing every coffee stand in town or something about the latte that they got that morning somehow has better credentials on the street than the person that actually just was my client for 2.5 years and got a great result.
Right.
John, I personally had exactly the same experience, but from my customer side, I left. This is the first and only time I attempted to leave a Yelp review. It was for a mobile veterinarian who came out, treated a sick cat I had, and I left a very positive review, and then it vanished. It was never posted.
Right.
And the more research I did on it, the more I found out that you actually, not as a customer, but as the service provider, you got to pay them to have great reviews appear. Well, or at least that's the impression I was left with.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, and I can't speak for every one of them, but I can tell you for sure that Yelp is one that charges to, prioritize your business and stuff. And they act like that God knows we would never manipulate reviews and stuff. But the reality is they do. Well, they just disappear.
They absolutely do. I mean, I have a story. It was it doesn't matter the business, but I leave good reviews because I know how hard they are to get. Right. But on occasion, there's something that goes pretty wrong. I'll leave a bad review.
Right.
And I left it for a hardware store, and it was a pretty bad situation. Just very, very rude customer service. I'll leave it at that. And it was up for like 2 days and went away. And it was on Yelp.
Whoa. Okay, so you can delete negative reviews. Okay.
They will. I don't.
You can't on other ones though.
Yeah. Google won't let you do that.
No, Google. I mean, we had somebody in San Francisco give us a review, and we've never worked for anybody in San Francisco, but they won't take it down.
No, I mean they will if it's a clearly malicious thing. I mean, there is a process to say this one can't possibly be real. I don't work in Toledo, or whatever. There's another attorney in New Orleans that has the same name that I have, but he does 100% criminal defense in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we just don't do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And we had a review that came up that was clearly for him. It was like, if I ever had something in this parish, I'm going to call, or whatever. It was just not me, and it was clearly, and they took that down. But I told them, I think you're looking for this person and not me. and they got it to the right place.
Wait, so you actually engaged with Google?
Yeah.
How long did that take?
Not long.
Really?
Not long at all.
Oh, okay.
But have you guys noticed that everybody that you come in contact with asks you to leave a review?
Yeah. Hey, we'll be right back. We're out of time for this segment. We'll see you on the other side.
I mean, it's almost as bad as the tipping culture is the review culture.
Oh, I love leaving tips for like drive up and, since you buy the counter and.
Yeah.
Do you think Doc got any bad Google or Yelp reviews?
Let's ask.
He clearly took the speculum out of an ice bucket before he stuck it in me.
Doc, did people ever leave reviews for your...
He can't hear. I don't want him to hear me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And how did they differentiate between good service and bad service?
I was quite sticky after
same thing, customer, it's how you deal with your patients.
Yeah.
Holy crap, it's like he'd never touched a woman before.
And you know what? I learned very quickly. There was a friend of mine who was like he was Southern gentleman. I think he might have been from Georgia, but just very different than me. And one of my patients transferred to him, and then I realized, and then I got patients who came to me because they didn't like someone being slow and more, Southern, and I'm sort of in your face kind of thing.
Like we do.
And I realized that, you can't please everybody, that you are who you are, and the patients who like my style of treatment will come to me, and if somebody wants a slow, more...
patient, polite.
Yeah.
Is Doc saying more of a wham bam deal? Is that what he did?
Go to him. And I didn't take it as personally as I used to.
Doc kind of specialized in in-and-out service.
There are women that just want you to come in there.
So you're more of a
quick lube.
Yeah, I think that's a good analogy there, Shannon. You're kind of like the quick lube oil change versus a trip to the dealership.
Absolutely.
Okay, got it.
But a lot of patients,
a lot of patients like the dealership. I get it.
They want to come in, get it taken care of, and leave.
Indeed, they do.
But I was always on time.
I'd offer you something to drink, but I don't want you leaking on the counter.
And if I had to go do a delivery in the middle of office hours, we called everybody, told them not to come in. And I think...
Were you like a plumber? Did you have like after-hour increased rates for...
You can't do that.
No?
Mm-mm. Well, I'd be rolling in cash if I could do that.
Did you ever have a little cash tip jar on the side for like after-hour emergencies and stuff? Like
no, never.
You should see fit to...
Never.
He's still kicking himself for not selling umbilical cords. Don't remind me.
I probably would have lost my license if I did that.
But you missed out completely on the opportunity of selling umbilical cords and stuff. We talked about that the other day.
Yeah, I missed out on that.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding.
What could have been.
Except then you come, the conflict is who gets it, the patient or you.
But you're just selling. Well, yeah, but I mean, don't you think that's a... do you think the patient gets paid for that? Or do you think they just say, I don't want it, you can have it?
Well, I think the more they realize that people are selling it, the more they're going to say, I want a piece of that.
Okay.
Got a shoebox full of them
because, before they started doing stem cell stuff, there was no use for it.
Right. But, I mean, you can get stem cells out of the hip crest and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other sources. But back in the day, when they first started that, I think the whole issue was, like, he had all these quacks that were doing amniotic fluid and stuff.
Right.
Which, A, may not even have living stem cells in it, and B, if it did, we're talking like 1 or 2 stem cells in a whole gallon of amniotic fluid. And then you would hear them basically espousing the math of it, of saying, well, 1 turned into 2. And
but the thing with the amniotic fluid is you can't get it after somebody gives birth.
Right, it's gone.
Right, and so you have to do it at some point where there's a risk to it, whereas with umbilical cord stuff, there's no risk.
Right. So how do they harvest that? By just extracting it before birth? From
what?
The amniotic fluid.
I don't know. It's a risky thing. Because anytime you put a needle in there,
Right.
there's some complications associated with that. So I don't know how they did it, to be honest with you. I mean, like I said, umbilical cord stuff,
You don't need it anymore.
right? But I'm not sure if they paid. They would have to pay somebody because it's an invasive procedure.
But it's not invasive for the cord.
No, it's what I'm saying. It's cord's
Right.
afterwards. But when we did, even when we did an amniocentesis, we only took out a few cc's.
Right.
We didn't take out a whole lot. But even that, had risk attached to it.
Sure.
John, I'm quiet today because I'm preparing for those headliners.
You haven't been quiet at all.
Oh, okay, good. I just
Been jumping in there like you got.
I just don't want to fuck these up for Tom and Mark. Genesis.
You preparing for another suit that you filed?
No, just these really
Still
tiny
pissed
little
about the
10-second
judge not
ads.
issuing his order on time.
I didn't realize that's a thing for those people. What the hell does the judge do all day?
They're busy.
Doing what? Surfing the web?
Yeah. Surfing the web.
Making reservations at the country club?
Yeah. They have, if you look at the news, they have sex with,
Oh, yeah. That was a Georgia one.
I know.
Wow.
She recused herself.
From the elections case,
Yeah.
right? Or the ballots case?
When it wasn't the sex that made her recuse herself, it was the fact that she had gone to like a Fannie Willis event or something.
Oh.
And Fannie was the one that was prosecuting Trump to
Yeah.
begin with from that lovely little hamlet of Atlanta.
I don't want to get political, but have you guys seen this guy Marks, who's
Yes, sir.
he is a nutcase.
Yes.
I think that is the understatement of the year.
Oh, almost back. And I have some questions for you, John, about your business.
Say again? Did you say something?
No.
Oh, you have some questions.
For you about your business.
I heard I have some questions, but I didn't know which way it was coming in the room. So.
45 years strong, solving your problems, answering questions, taking complaints. This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, good morning still. It is the Tom Martino Troubleshooter Show. This is John Fuller filling in for Mr. Martino, who hopefully will be back with us tomorrow. And the wonderful Marc Mager will also be reappearing here in the next day or two. So glad to see them back around. We are in the studio today. We have a great guest. Chris Console is here. And Chris is the proprietor of DiscountBath.com. And so if you are in the market for a bath remodel in your home, there is no greater expert and no bigger opportunity than you have right now to pick up the phone and give us a call and talk about your project. If you've started it on your own and you've hit a roadblock and you've messed something up and water's shooting out of the floor and your wife is screaming and you're not sure what to do, this is the time to get on the phone and give us a call for some free advice about what possibly could have gone wrong in your project there. And we're going to talk about some things that do go wrong and that you've probably run into in some of your remodels. Do you get called in kind of mid homeowners DIY projects a lot?
Yeah, usually mid is probably not the right word. It's usually post demo and I don't know what I'm doing. So it's more at the beginning.
Yeah.
We've been in a few where somebody has started with pretty good intentions and it looks right until you look at it closely and then you're like, well, we just need you to finish the tile, but they didn't do the prep right, or
Right.
It can get more complicated than it looks like on YouTube.
I absolutely agree with you, and know from personal experience that it can go ugly early. So, so we're going to talk about some of those items. The phone lines are open right now. We're not here just for bath remodels, although this is a tremendous opportunity for you. But we're here for everything else that's going on. So if you have been defrauded, if you have a real estate question, if you live next to Dimitri and have constant noise problems and rogue cats running wild in your loft building or something like that, and you want to talk about it, give us a call. We're here for those issues and are uniquely qualified to talk about them. The phone number is 303-713-8255. We look forward to helping you. Dimitri.
John, you're the big-time personal injury attorney, and so you spend your days figuring out who's liable and what to do about them. You know, the observation that I make almost every time I'm on the road is the people who behave the most recklessly are those that appear to be the least equipped to actually pay the consequences of their reckless actions. So I see kids in these souped up cars, you know, they drive like they drive in video games, and they have either expired plates or a temporary plate from 2022. I guarantee you, if this kid runs into me and God forbid injures me or somebody else, if they don't have license plates, they don't have insurance. And if they do have insurance, I'd be lucky if they have the $25,000 state mandated minimum. So what do you do? I mean, if they live with their parents or their uncles or their grandparents, do those people have any sort of responsibility for these reckless actions? Is there any other kind of insurance or assets that you can look to for, you know, to make people whole when they're injured by these idiots?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. But before we get to that, did you see those two idiots that stopped in the middle of I-70 and got out and decided to go fight each other?
And by the way, the middle of I-70 in this case means the actual middle of the traffic
People
lanes.
are going on the left and on the right.
Trucks.
And trying to stop right behind them. And one guy grabs a tire iron and knocks the window out of the car in front. Did you see that?
I didn't realize he knocked the window out of the car, but I did see the front driver approach the rear driver, and they're both parked literally in the middle traffic lane of an interstate.
So I really don't know. I mean, I think about these things because I'm just, you know, this is what I do. But if a car came along and ran into them, I don't think it would be that car's fault.
No, of course not.
You created this dangerous condition in the middle of the freaking highway. What would you do with the case like that? If you're on a jury and those guys get creamed and killed in the middle of the highway, how in the world can you blame that on a driver coming along and encountering these people in the middle? Now, truthfully, you have a duty to avoid things in the highway and all that stuff, but I mean, come on.
But a reasonable person who's driving down a freeway doesn't expect for two cars directly in front of him just to come to a screeching halt in the middle lane of the freeway. So you rear-end one of those guys, I wouldn't find you guilty of that. I wouldn't find you responsible of that. And by the way, in this case, I watched those videos like you quite a few times just out of sheer disbelief. But the second driver who parked behind the first one seems to be equally negligent because he should have just gone around the idiot who parked in front of him, right?
I don't think the one guy is solely responsible for this. If he stopped and the other guy zoomed around, we wouldn't have an incident. And it wouldn't have been captured on the big rig's, you know, dash cam or whatever. But if there's ever been a case that supports the need for dash cams, I think that's it.
That's right.
Because, I mean, how do you explain that here I was just driving along, minding my own business, and I came across two guys duking it out in the road, or one guy taking a tire iron to the other guy's car, knocking the window out? I mean, what the heck?
Yeah.
Is wrong with people?
John, I hope one or both of them are listening to this show right now.
I hope so too.
It would
Both
be
of them
awesome
are
if they
charges.
Have they been caught? Do you think law enforcement is looking for them?
We'll go right up your alley. Let's talk about that. Lakewood launched its drone that just happens to be sitting on top of the mall right there. And
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What drone? And what's it doing sitting on a mall?
They have a drone sitting on that mall right there at like 32nd and whatever it is right there. What is that mall called? The
Cross
No, it's not Crossroads.
Is that the one on like 6th and Indiana?
Yeah. That
they have
mall
a drone station
there? They have a drone that lives on top of that building that they can launch remotely, which they did because they got a call from a number of people on the highway going, we got a problem here. And so then they left. And enough witnesses called in and told them, like, well, I think one guy's going here. One guy went to the shopping mall and they like caught him in the restaurant beer garden or something. I don't know.
Oh, they captured him?
They caught both of them.
What charges?
The other guy, so this is all about surveillance, okay? The one guy they caught because they put the drone up in the air and they literally found his car parked in the parking lot and they went in and they found him in the mall and they caught him, okay?
Yeah.
The other dude, they got a partial plate on his car. Now,
that's all that's needed nowadays.
You hear about these flock cameras that are everywhere?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
The partial plates tracked him down and they found the guy that was traveling up in a certain direction and they found him and pulled him over. So they caught both of them.
Wow. John, now you used to practice criminal defense law back in the old days. So what charges are these guys facing and what possible defenses can they offer?
Lord only knows. I have no idea what all they could come up with, but reckless driving would be a start, and it would go downhill from there. But I mean, it's just the absurdity of it. Both of them deserve everything they're going to get, and neither one of them would deserve a dime if something bad had happened to them in the middle of the road like that.
Well, even worse, to other innocent people. I mean, you run into them in the chain reaction.
Life in your hands to pull over because you're ticked off at some other driver.
No, not pull over.
No,
that's the problem. Not pull over.
Stop
Come
in the
to a
middle of the
screeching halt. John, stupid should hurt, and that video proves it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Hey, I'm going to answer your question, but we're going to do it right in the next segment here. So we're going to go to a break. Give us a call, Ray. We got you on the line here. We will be right back to answer your question.
So intent would count, right? Because if your car breaks down in the middle of I-70, are you responsible if somebody runs into you?
Well, that's an emergency. That's
right, but that's what I'm saying. So intent counts.
That's a defense in the event that something happens there. So certainly the difference between somebody that unknowingly breaks down and has an emergency in the middle of the road versus somebody that stops their damn car and then gets out of their car and goes back to assault the guy behind him, and they want to have words back and forth while cars are like, I mean, zooming around them.
I'm curious, maybe I should ask on air, but how long have you been in Colorado? Ish.
37 years.
So it seems, I'm trying to decide if this is a me being older thing or if it's just out of control, because I've seen, I was on Smoky Hill recently, and this guy was so impatient, 2 lanes, he decided to split the lanes like a motorcycle in a car and just drive through everybody. And people were like moving over like this to not get hit. And I'm like, it's just like.
I had a dude, Tower Road? Tower Road used to be in the country.
Yeah, it was the middle of nowhere.
It was, nobody was on Tower Road.
Yeah.
And I was going north on there one day, and this dude went to pass somebody heading south. So he gets over in my lane, decides that was not smart because I was coming the other way, and moves over to what would have been my emergency lane on the side of the road. And I go right between them. Like literally he passed the car he was passing in the emergency lane.
2 cars covered.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what in the hell?
I see the craziest things now.
I think
they're all from California.
Yeah. The more traffic there is, the more you're going to see this.
Yeah.
When the roads are wide open, come in contact with other cars. But the more that you come in contact with other cars, this behavior is going to continue.
Go ahead, Doc. This computer here is saying Software Center, iHeartMedia, your computers are about to restart. Is that anything I should worry about? Or?
Does it have a countdown on the restart?
No, it just says restart or snooze. Should I snooze that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just for now.
Okay.
I would just be worried that the other guy has
this computer is about to explode.
Nowadays.
10, 9, 8.
It usually gives like a 12-hour countdown.
Okay.
I saw last week a guy pass out. I'm assuming it was a medical issue, doing 80 in the fast lane on 470.
And he passed out while he was driving?
Yeah, I was behind him, and he went into the wall and just rode the wall for like 45 minutes, quarter mile is what I'm trying to say. And it was just riding along the wall, no brakes, not trying to correct, and then the wall kind of went like that and shot him into traffic. It was pretty bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did he hit anybody?
Yeah, he hit a bunch of people.
Yeah.
You know, I pulled over. Can't get from one side to the other.
Yeah.
People,
trying to get out of the way.
Yeah,
it
was bad.
One of my friends had narcolepsy. She was old. She was probably 82, 83 and driving a damn trike motorcycle, three-wheel, deal. She should have never been on in the first place, but she was. And the consensus is that she fell asleep while operating that on the interstate and drifted across, and it's like, God dang, she didn't make it, of course.
Was she a fatality?
Yeah. She didn't immediately, but there was very little hope of her making it beyond getting to the hospital. But no, it was ugly. Turned into basically a head-on collision. But it all because she,
fell asleep,
dozed off or something. It only takes a microsecond for really bad things to happen with lots of cars involved and stuff.
Yeah.
I always remember when you're going 60 miles an hour, it's 88 feet per second.
Yep.
So in 1 second, that's all it takes. It's basically, you can hit anything in your way.
Right.
Yeah, I see more and more. I was just curious if there's an uptick in.
Yeah, I think it is.
I mean, I would think so.
Yes. I mean, there is no shortage of them. At the same time, it's like the insurance company. I mean, there's nobody to blame solely. It's not that just the PI lawyers have just conspired to gin up all these cases. That's not the reality. But the insurance companies, continue to try to lowball people and do everything they can to swoop in and get settlements in the first 10 minutes after an accident.
Right.
But at the same time, the one of the main reasons why we continue to exist is that medical expenses have gotten so incredibly expensive, and every single person involved in that process, from the moment the crash happens until you are healed, is trying their very best to get their best outcome financially from that accident. So the hospitals try to cheat. They want to get, they want to bill non-health insurance avenues first. Everybody does. So, like, we just had a case where the ambulance never billed the health insurance, and they're sending letters. All right, good afternoon. We are back live in the Troubleshooter Network. This is John Fuller. I am a personal injury attorney, and I have been so for going on probably right at 25 years. And that means I represent people that have been injured in accidents that were not their fault. So 99.9% of the time, I am going after, if not directly, then at least indirectly through the at-fault party, I'm going after an insurance company. And so Dimitri's questions about what do we do with the proliferation of seemingly deadbeat drivers on the road, and it's a subject that's near and dear to my heart. I mentioned the other day that we have nearly 2/3 of the drivers on the road in Colorado either have no insurance or minimal limits. A lot of the people that you're talking about that have no tags and have no semblance of legitimacy or temporary tags that have been expired for a year or something. I mean, we all see this stuff on the roadway. Many of them do have insurance, and I think they've decriminalized the idea of having valid tags to the point where it's not a primary offense and you don't get pulled over for it. So many of these people just don't register their cars for years, it seems like, but may have, like Fred Loya or the General or whatever the bottom rung of insurance is. But frankly, $25,000 of insurance is just not enough in this day and age. And so I'm going to talk about how we can stack policies and where else we look for policies. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. In the meantime, we've got Ray on the line. I want to go to Ray. How can we help you today?
I went over to help a friend at an apartment complex.
Okay.
replace her front faucet in her kitchen.
Okay.
So I got a hold of the people that run the apartment, and they told me the water was off. The shut-off valve was not shutting off before, so that's why I had to get a hold of them to get the water turned off. They told me the water was off. I had no water coming out of the kitchen sink faucet, so I thought the water was off. Well, apparently, the other thing is I also turned the water off in the bathroom, and I didn't have any water coming out of there either, so I thought the water was off. Well, apparently he shut the wrong line off, and I didn't have any water coming out of the bathroom because apparently the bathroom is on a different circuit.
Oh, no.
So I didn't have any water coming out of the kitchen, so I thought the water was off. He told me the water was off. Well, apparently it wasn't off. It ran for when I disconnected water. It shot the shutoff valve across her kitchen because it was still under pressure. And yeah, I had a big issue there. It ran for 45 minutes to an hour.
Oh.
And I had water coming out of her stuff was floating there in her living room.
Holy cow.
Her living. Yeah, it was a mess. So I got insurance below her. Her insurance company is now trying to go after me to pay them $23,545.55, which is what apparently they paid.
Am I guessing that you're not a licensed plumber with? Am I guessing you're not a licensed plumber with insurance?
No, I just went over there to help her out.
Holy cow!
Ray, you started off by saying this is an apartment complex. Did you mean this is a condominium complex, or is it an actual apartment complexes where everybody is a renter?
It's a condo.
Oh, okay. It's a condo.
So your friend actually owns the unit that you were working in, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Has your friend talked to her insurance company about covering that damage?
Her insurance paid her apartment to get it all fixed and all that.
Okay.
And there's 2 other apartments that were also damaged, plus the hallway. And the people that own the apartment said that the water was shut off within 5 minutes, which is not true.
Okay.
They sent a team over to do mitigation, and during the mitigation process, they spent an hour for lunch. In the meantime, I got water going everywhere.
Okay, I don't follow you there. They sent a mitigation team to help do cleanup after this. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, water damage cleanup stuff.
Yeah. So, what was the lunch component? You lost me on that.
Well, during the process of cleaning everything up, they decided to take an hour for lunch.
Okay.
Let's get back to the really pressing issue, which is you've got all these other people's insurance companies that will want to seek reimbursement for their expenses. So
I'm sure they will.
So has your friend who owns that condo where you allegedly were trying to install a new, a faucet, has that insurance company accepted responsibility for the entire set of damages?
It doesn't sound like it.
Well, I don't know. I don't think we've even gotten to that point. Ray said that her insurance company paid for her damages.
Right.
Now, all these other insurance companies want to be reimbursed, so they're sending Ray the bills or probably sending the unit owner the bills. And, John, doesn't it sound like those bills should be turned over to the unit owner's insurance company?
I would think so. Yeah, the primary, listen, the health or the property insurance for the owner of the condo that you were working in is going to be the primary source of payment for all the damages. Okay, so they're gonna pay out for your friend. They're going to pay out for the unit below, the hallway, that kind of stuff. They're going to pay for all of that. Now, if the homeowner below uses their own insurance and they pay out on the claim, then they're going to turn around and seek subrogation, which is just a fancy word that means some third party's right to get paid back. So in this case, they're going to come after you, or if they can, they're going to also go after the insurance for your friend. And it's likely that they're going after both because they never know what they're going to run into. One may run out of limits of coverage or something, and they're just trying to get money from everywhere that they can.
But they would prefer, those other insurance companies would prefer to be reimbursed by the unit owner's insurance company,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying.
Rather than trying to get it out of Ray, because they don't know if he even has the 23 to spend on this.
Hey, listen, I am convinced sometimes that these insurance companies, like let me give you an example. If you get in a car wreck and the other guy doesn't have insurance and you have to use your own insurance to fix your car, they're going to go after the guy that caused the accident. But in all likelihood, they probably aren't going to recover from that guy, right? But they still have to make an effort to go after it and say, look, we tried to go after it, so now we can write it off as a loss because we tried and the guy was a deadbeat and had nothing, but we tried, right? That's like a prerequisite to them being able to write it off. So sometimes I think they engage in collection efforts that there's no chance that they'll ever collect on.
Because they want to show someday, somewhere down the road, they want to be able to show that, hey, we did attempt to collect from Ray, we got nowhere, so you pay up.
So, and now this is just my theory, because why in the world would you bother suing somebody that just can't possibly pay? It's to be able to show that you did. But sometimes these guys are going after everybody and their grandmother trying to seek reimbursement. They're gonna go after every insurance company, every vendor, the dog that walked by out front and stuff, and I really think that, you know, when push comes to shove, your friend's insurance company is going to be the company that's on the hook to pay those damages.
So, Ray, is that why you called? Because you're worried that all these insurance companies are going to start coming after you for reimbursement now? Is that really the heart of the matter?
Yeah, I've got one insurance company that's sending me a bill every 2 weeks.
Yeah, have you turned that bill over to your friend so that she can turn it over to her homeowner's insurance company?
I did.
And what happened?
What'd they say?
I haven't got no response yet.
How long has it been?
2 weeks.
Oh, that's nothing in the insurance world, huh?
Yeah, I would keep pushing that envelope. I mean, I really would. It's not between you and your friend. It's the insurance company, but you're going to have to go, you know, put some heat under them to take care of it. She's going to have to put heat under them to take care of it, and hopefully eventually they will. But I would just keep telling that insurance company that's coming after you that, look, there is insurance on that unit. You guys are barking up the wrong tree. Give them the insurance company information.
Oh, that's
directly.
a good idea. Couldn't Larry just the company that's billing, is it Larry or Ray? Ray. So what do you think of this? What if Ray just calls or writes the insurance company that's billing him and says, hey, the unit owner's insurance company of this, here's the claim number and here's the adjuster's name, get the 23 G's from them.
Right. No, that's what you should do. And I mean, just do that. They can't hurt anything, and that's really where they should be going anyway to get reimbursed.
John, by the way, this is
a bad thing. It wasn't even my fault.
I know. I mean, and then listen, that brings up another point, is not only is it your insurance company, because your insurance company can turn around and say to the condominium association's insurance policy that it was their representative that actually caused this damage. So everybody's going to go up the ladder of fault. But interestingly enough, the one that's coming after you probably can't go after the HOA's guy directly. They're going to go up the ladder. Everything kind of traces back to you like the limbs of a tree tracing down to the trunk. They all end up in the same place, but they have to go their respective route.
John, are you saying that the HOA is actually liable to that unit owner whose water they were supposed to turn off?
Yeah.
But they're not liable to all the subsequent damages
I mean,
that are
ultimately
downstream?
they probably are, but it's going to go the proper path.
Right.
There's no privity of contract between the
privity of contract.
You'll want to add that to your
that's
your
an
little,
SAT
your little
word.
bank of snazzy
I
words
don't
to
even know
throw
how to
out there.
spell
You know?
that.
Privity.
Okay.
Privity of contract. There's no connection between the HOA and the third party, much removed
damages.
Person, okay, but there is between the homeowner and the HOA. Okay, so and there is between the homeowner and the people down below, in that the water flowed down, you know, down to the unit below.
It always does.
That's how things work. So you look for the connections to go back up the ladder. So
now it sounds to me like, I don't know. I mean, Ray is probably. I mean, he probably is technically responsible, but I can't imagine any insurance company really going after him in this matter, right? I mean, they would probably think they're wasting their time and money on pursuing Ray.
Ray, this is Chris. That was a friend, right? You weren't doing this for money, were you?
This is correct.
Oh, that's better, right?
Yeah.
That's even better.
Totally gratuitous thing there. I think you're going to be fine, Ray. Just get that insurance information, and every time they call you, just give them that info and point them back uphill to your friend's insurance and instruct your friend on exactly how to handle it as well. They need to hear pressure from her to get it squared away, and then she needs to be tuning up the HOA people as well. So a lot of insurance policies, a lot of insurance coverage here. I think it'll all get worked out. Ray, thank you for the call. We're going to go to a break here. We will be right back on the other side. And the moral of the story is,
have a plumber do it.
Yeah, crazy. You let the water run for 45 minutes.
My plumber he's a funny dude, and they always have like shark bite stops.
Yeah,
just in case that happens, right? He's like, sometimes you got to take a bath, but if that thing's running for 45 minutes,
but we're going to get
you can't run to Home Depot and get that thing.
Yeah, I always thought they would carry like a wooden dowel with a pointy end. They pound it into the pipe.
Anything.
Well, yeah, the shark bites.
Shark bites do that.
Yeah, they have a cap, right? It's It's like a plug.
Mm-hmm.
And
you know what a shark bite is?
Yeah, I just didn't think of that.
Yeah, they're like your best friend if you end up in that situation.
You always have a shark bite ready just in case, right?
I don't touch the plumbing in my
unit. Stuff happens. I mean, I have professional plumbers, and sometimes stuff happens.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we had one unit in the building up on the 8th floor that leaked, and the bill for all, like the totality of the bills for all, like 8 units that it damaged was over $800,000. Now, I don't think most people even have homeowners insurance with that kind of a limit.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I always, like even the simple stuff, like I had Fix It 24/7 come out 3 times to do stuff I could have done.
Right.
And that's it was like $169 investment in not causing $1 million of damage that I'm responsible.
I don't sell anymore, but when I was in homes, cheap is not less expensive.
That's right. What a disaster. Ugh, scary. Okay, so is there... All right, I'm going to go get some coffee for everybody. You want black coffee, John?
Yep.
Doc, you want anything?
I'm good, thank you.
Chris, what can we get you from the
I'll
break?
take a black coffee.
You want some cream in it?
No, black.
Armadillo cream.
Huh?
Black with cream?
He's either milking armadillos or milking his cats. Which one do you want?
No, nobody drinks. Well,
It's organic. I brought organic heavy whipping cream.
I still don't want any.
Have you ever had some?
No.
Yeah, but I
You haven't had any.
still don't want it. So
Because I don't. Nobody drinks
some
coffee.
people just don't
Stuff
drink
in it.
cream in their coffee. I know it's crazy, but true.
It's another excuse to drink cream. All right.
So most men
Go
just
eat a
drink
beef
black
stick
coffee.
back there.
right?
You'll be better for it. You know. Man, I just had a damn shark bite deal. Well, it really wasn't the shark bite's fault, I guess. I went to I put a hose bib in my garage that I've been wanting to do for years, but I just finally did it. I had some PEX laying around, and I'm like, I'm just going to do this.
Yeah.
shit. So, but where I did it, I had to do a 90 on the PEX coming into the hose bib and stuff. So I got a little shark bite to do that, which was fine. But then you have to, you're screwing it onto NPT on the hose bib, and so they don't always line up where you want them to go just so, God dang, I had problems with that sucker. Like I would get it, you'd get it to where you wanted it, and it was like, I need to go another 3/4 of a turn to get it back where I need it to be, and then by the time you put that much torque on it, it would eat the silicone thread out of it, and sure as crap, it would drip. And it wouldn't drip right away, but I knew it, and I put a little thing under it, and I'm like, all right. So I'd come back after like 2 hours, and there'd be like a quarter-sized little drop of water in the thing. You're like, son of a bitch. I did it like 6 times, okay, to finally get it right. And I finally got to the point where I put silicone tape and that putty crap that you paint on there, I put both of them on there and made it to where it was so gooped up with that crap that I put it on there, went about another 3/4 of a turn and just said, it's good. I'm not even going to touch it. And I left the water off for a couple hours, finally turned it back on. It was good. But it literally took me like 6 times to get this stupid thing to be, and we're not talking a big leak, but it was just so hard to get it when you need it to end up right there,
Well, little leaks turn into big leaks.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I am always so impressed by the guys that build these intricate, like, gas line configurations, and they just look beautiful when they're done.
Yeah, my plumber still sweats copper.
Yeah.
He likes doing it.
I do, too. And I'm like, that's so easy to do.
Yeah.
And it always works. But you know what I'm talking about, the threaded gas line.
Yeah.
You just go around the tree and over and above and back down through, and it just looks beautiful. And you're like, son of a gun, how did you get all those to be tight at the right exact moment, He's like, you just keep torquing until they're done. It's like, well, it doesn't hurt that the gas has got like 2 pounds of pressure on it,
This years ago, but one of my buddies is wanting a gas line for his stove. He wanted a gas stove in. And so we can do that. And he's like, he's scared of it. And I'm like, it's 2 pounds of pressure versus water. I'd be more afraid of the water than I am of gas.
Yeah.
Chris, that's an interesting business you're in that people can approach you about their occasional dabbling. That people will tell you stories about their dabbling in the industry, on an amateur level, and you're like, yeah, our community's a really good job there with that tape job, cool, right?
It feels good. All right. We have John Fuller here on the Troubleshooter Network. We are back live in the studio and here to help you. We've got a few phone calls. Larry, you are calling in to comment on the last call. What is going on, Larry?
Yeah, John, that was an interesting call for me because I often help the elderly in my neighborhood do minor repairs and that sort of thing. Well, let me ask this scenario. What if the homeowner of that condo did not or would not turn that into their insurance carrier, or the carrier actually declined any responsibility? Could that person who was helping out turn that into his homeowner's insurance or his umbrella policy?
Most likely the answer would be no. Okay, the policy. See, here's the thing that's true across every different possible scenario of will my insurance cover is all insurance coverage starts in your policy and where that's defined, and it's going to set out exactly what it'll cover, and most likely it's going to be premises oriented, meaning it's going to have some nexus to you and your household. So if you go over and help your neighbor, you're not going to then be able to use your homeowner's insurance to cover you for something that happened over there. Now, your umbrella may provide a more broad type coverage than that. I don't know. But everything starts with, when we sit down in my law office and I've got a client sitting in my conference table and we're debating an issue like this, every single time my inquiry starts by pulling the policy out, laying it on the table, and reading it page by page until I get to whether or not this particular issue is going to be covered or is not going to be covered. But generally speaking, I would think your homeowner's insurance would probably not cover a mistake, particularly in this case where the guy really didn't make a mistake. It was the apartment complex that didn't turn off the water, and he did everything he could to determine that the water was shut off. He said even in the bathroom, which how would you know that was on a whole separate line of water? But so it's a good idea. I just don't think there'd be any coverage under your homeowners.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you, John.
All right, thanks for the call, Larry. We have Francesca on the line. Francesca called earlier, and she had an interesting story. she received a home when her mom passed away in what we call a life estate, and that means that she is entitled to live in and use the home as long as she lives, and then when she lives, the home is going to pass to her brother, who then will have the option of selling it or doing whatever he wants to with the property. And Francesca says that her mom also left money to help pay the mortgage, and there's a small mortgage on the property. I think the balance is about $74,000 on a home that is about $350,000, maybe $400,000 of total value. But Francesca says that she's never had access to that money and has been paying that mortgage off herself, even though she's really not the mortgage holder. She's in the house and she needs to pay it to keep them at bay. And so we decided that the best thing we could do to help Francesca was to get our resident expert, Dan McKenzie, on the phone. And we'll bring Dan up on the call now. Dan, what do we do in a situation like this? Francesca tells us that her brothers are pressuring her to move out of the home, and their goal in doing that is so that they can take over the home and sell it and do with it whatever they want. Francesca's on disability. She doesn't have the ability to just move out of the home, and certainly is not inclined to do that because she'd have no place to live. So what are your thoughts here? What can you offer us, Dan?
I guess I don't know what it means that they're pressuring her, but sometimes people do that when they really don't have any legal leg to stand on. There's that famous saying about, if you have the law, pound the law. If you have the facts, pound the facts. They would neither pound the table. It sounds like they're pounding the table, maybe, because if she has a life estate, they really don't have any basis to force her to move out of there. I guess I'd have to learn more, if she wants to call, I'd have to learn more about exactly what they're saying, or if they think they have a basis for her to move out.
She's on the line with us right now. Francesca, what are they doing to try to push you out of the home?
They are in probate. I opened probate, and I made my brother I was the original executor, and I gave it to my brother because he was helping me with the mortgage at the beginning after she died. And I thought, since he's paying the mortgage, I'll let him have executorship. And I had to get it back because every month it was threats of not paying the mortgage unless I did X amount of things or did this or that. Oh. And they want me out of the house. They're telling the court I'm refusing to leave the home and leave, which I am refusing to leave the home.
Because Francesca has the legal right to be in the home because she's the beneficiary of this deed.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is tricky if there is a mortgage and it sounds like you need their contribution to pay it. Is that true?
Yes.
Well, Dan.
Well, I've been paying it.
Dan, I believe Francesca's mother left her enough.
I only paid it for 5 months.
I believe that Francesca's mother left her enough money to keep making the mortgage payments. Is that right, Francesca?
I believe so, and I asked for statements at the time of her death, and I have never seen anything.
So where are you at in the probate process, Francesca? What has happened so far? When was that opened, and what's going on?
I opened it about 4 months ago.
Okay.
We were supposed to meet. We had 60 days to resolve this. The 60 days was up on the 15th, and we have not resolved anything. It's in the judge's hands now. So, but I need a probate lawyer because I have no idea how to handle anything on probate.
So,
Dan, you should be getting information about what what is in the estate, and if there was money left. Like, was that in the will? It says that you were left a certain amount of money.
It doesn't give it a dollar amount.
Oh.
And that's why I asked for statements and what insurance policy she had, and I was never provided with that information. I have no idea if she had $10 or $100,000. I have no idea.
Dan, does she have the right to get to this information? And if so, how does she enforce the right to get all of this information and get perfect transparency in what's in the estate and what's meant to go to whom?
Yeah, is this just to confirm? This probate is happening in Colorado. I'm assuming.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. So after an executor is appointed, they have 3 months to provide an inventory of the assets in the estate. You, depending on how this probate's being done, you might have to ask for that inventory if you have not received it. So that's one source of information. You did?
I filed 2 motions requesting that information, and so if they're untransparent, they are not being transparent.
Yeah,
they want me. They want me dead or homeless, and if I'm homeless, I'll be walking down Colfax with my service dog, begging so that he can spit at me.
Dan, is this the kind of case you can enter on behalf of Francesca? Could she engage your services, even though they're so deep into it, just so that you can kind of protect her rights and under in this matter?
I mean, and to be fully transparent, I mean, if you're talking about a contested matter that's in court, I mean that can be a pretty intensive process and require a lot of lawyering. So that can be a challenge sometimes. Obviously, it sounds like there aren't a lot of funds floating around there. But if you do something where it's like, hey, we're helping the estate could be forced to potentially contribute to that.
Oh, that's a great angle. And Francesca, are the opposing parties who are, these douches who are trying to make you homeless, are they represented by lawyers, or are they doing this on their own?
On their own.
Oh, well, Dan, isn't that in Francesca's favor if she engages your services, or at least services of someone like you?
Yeah. Sometimes it's helpful to have a lawyer, frankly, but it's sometimes when people are doing this, like, just don't realize, like, here's my obligations, and you can clarify that, because in addition to the inventory, Francesca, you're also entitled to accountings upon reasonable requests. So you don't get an accounting of how they sent the money every single day or week or maybe even month, but you do get occasional, like, you're supposed to have information about what is in this estate and how the money is being used as a beneficiary.
So, Francesca, let me give you Dan's phone number. I would urge you to give him a call off the air. I think that's going to be a great starting place for you, and at least get some more specific advice for what's going on with you. It may be the case that just having an attorney like Dan to enter the case and kind of bring some some authority as to what should be happening and everything else. I know for a fact that judges appreciate it when an attorney jumps on board a contested matter that's just getting ugly with lots of allegations and stuff. So give Dan a call. You can reach Dan at 833-CO-PLANS, PLANS, 833-CO-PLANS. Write that down, or on the internet at coplans.co. Dan, we really appreciate you coming on board here today, and hopefully you can help Francesca get some resolution here.
Yeah.
Dan,
thank you.
Is that your website, coplans.co or .com?
It's .co.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Colorado, So, cool. Thank you, Dan. We appreciate it. And Francesca, thanks for calling. Best of luck to you.
Shannon, Tom asked me to do, is it called headliners? Are they called headlines or headliners? Like, if you look at the in-house spots under Wednesday and they're like 10 and 15-second deals, what are those called?
In-house spots, I think.
Oh, I thought he used a different term, like headliners.
I'm sure whatever personality is on board that day comes up with a different word for it.
Okay, well, I'm going to do them in the second half of the show, so I'll advise Dragon that I'll be yammering.
Let me advise you now, I don't care.
Okay,
thank you.
Just want to keep you in the loop in case this...
No.
Appreciate you keeping it real there.
7.5 minutes of being in the loop left in my system, and then is full-blown don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but until then, I don't want anyone to feel left out or
it's
unimportant.
It's like a warm hug from you, D, and I appreciate that.
A verbal hug.
I'll give you a hug.
For the record.
What were you saying about a sharpened stick to stop a leak? I got that right here.
Yeah, right. I was going to get
Got to be a sound effect you can come up with for that one.
Because you got to overcome the water pressure as you drive it in there and bang it in with a big hammer.
You know how that works out.
But wouldn't it be better than just leaving it? It will
until it comes flying out of there about 400 miles.
Sharpen fan first.
It impales the
trying
cat.
To stop a leak or kill Dracula? What is he doing?
Just put on what's that stuff they advertise on TV all the time?
Oh, that that slap it stuff. Where
So, Chris, the reason I brought up the sharpened stick is years ago I installed my own dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
And my fear was like I'll break off the stop valve or something. And so I did sharpen up a dowel. And I had a big hammer. And my plan was to pound that into the copper pipe.
Not a good plan.
That was brilliant.
Take that on Shark Tank.
You guys don't have sharpened sticks in your toolkits?
No. Amazingly not. It's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
No, we keep them for the homeowners.
Not that I would do that again.
Keep a roll of duct tape and a pair of ice grips. That's all we need.
That's all.
I had a bucket.
You can't fix it with those two things. Don't fix it.
It don't need fixing.
Don't need it.
The accent's perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to.
Don't need fixing.
Dude, when I bought my first home, I did the entire renovation by myself, like down to the floor joists. Because when I was in school, I watched Home Time. I used to love that show. Remember Dean and Robin?
Yeah.
I loved that show so much. So I spent all my college years watching that show.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. And so I thought I knew how to. So I had 3 bathrooms to remodel.
What were you doing in college?
Not that.
You weren't watching Home Time?
No, sir. I was doing some home time, but it was
so. Jeez. And so I installed the new shower valve and the distribution system and the handles and all that. And I learned how.
Is Dan still on the line? No. Okay.
And when I turned on the water supply, the water came out of everywhere except the shower head.
Yeah.
So I called a plumber.
Yep.
And the guy says, and I showed him how I cleaned everything and put flux in there. And I did it just like on TV.
They're still talking about you today. They're like,
but he
met
says,
this Russian dude one time. He won't
says,
believe what this guy
is that you're using a propane cylinder. You need to use the yellow MAP gas cylinder because that gets hotter. So you're not sucking in enough solder or not sucking in it far enough.
Who don't know that?
And he actually gave me his
MAP gas?
Yeah, whatever he had left over. I mean, he had like a partial cylinder, and he left it for me. And I'm like, dude,
with the trigger igniter on it. Boy,
I already have the trigger igniter.
Holy shit, that's the best invention in the world
has
right
a
there.
Burnzomatic.
I've never used
that. Is a pyro's dream right there. You know?
It is pretty cool.
That is my cigar lighter.
Absolutely. I used to use it for doing like campfires in the big fire pit and stuff. Man, you could start a brick on fire in that thing.
Always. Yep.
So, Chris, that was my first and only lesson I had to learn.
Stop dragging my heart around.
Right? Indeed.
Let a plumber do the plumbing.
Dragging the line.
From then on, what I did is
thank you, Shannon, for all your...
I'm a huge fan.
For the other
this
two
has been fun.
Thank you, sir.
But I cut
and we
all the
are
copper.
of you. Or at least me, you know.
No.
Yeah.
Like I dry fitted all the copper. I prepared it. I screwed the valves into the studs.
Sounds like you did it all right, except for the gas.
Well, but for subsequent to that, for the other 2 bathrooms, I did all of that, except I had him come back to solder the joints.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that's great. I mean, he was in and out really quickly, and I saved,
Chris, let me interrupt this guy again. Do you have logoed vehicles?
We have one.
Just one? Okay. Because I saw a Euro plumbing van that was pretty beat. The front was smashed in pretty bad on a side road the other day, and I sent a picture of it to Steven at Euro. He's like, God damn, it happens more than you think, but just God damn it.
Yeah, no, as a matter of fact, one of my guys got in a wreck in our truck the other day.
No.
Yeah, somebody cut him off and slammed on the brakes in 225.
Are all of your people employees or subs? Or?
It's a combination. This was an employee, though.
It's awful. Well, it happens. You guys were talking about psycho drivers. And
Well, this guy, Aurora doesn't come to accidents anymore.
Well, I got a
Did you know that?
I got to go too.
Yeah. All right, man. Good to see you.
I will be here tomorrow.
I will not.
I won't be either.
Are the regulars coming back tomorrow?
I don't know. I assume Tom is, but after his infusion or whatever.
Take care, guys.
All right. We are back just for a couple minutes until we wrap up for the morning session here on the Troubleshooter Network. This is John Fuller. When we come back in the afternoon session, we're going to open up the phone lines. So I'm a personal injury attorney, and that means I've handled, well, it doesn't mean, but it happens to mean that I've handled several thousand cases over the 25 years that I've been doing this. And chances are, if you've been in that situation and you have questions, I probably have been there and can answer them. So give us a call. 303-713-8255 is the number. We'll be back just on the other side. Thank you.
The Register of Actions in this case has over 50 entries.
Which case, yours?
Yeah.
Just leave it alone, Dimitri. You'll get your goddamn order.
Let it marinate.
You know?
What's been marinating for a month and a day?
They can tell when you check that. They're like, this guy's checked this thing 742 times.
That's about the number.
Chill, man.
Just calm yourself down.
I filed about a dozen motions, 2 trial briefs.
They just love you. They really don't.
Keeps them employed.
It doesn't keep them employed.
No, it keeps them busy doing shit.
It keeps them occupied doing shit they'd rather be on the golf course doing, you know? They do not embrace heavy filing pro se tyrants out there that are pursuing minor statutory penalties on shit that the rest of us just find annoying.
I'm doing it for society's good.
No, you are not. You're doing it for your own good.
I'm the comitatus of
you are not.
Our
you are
modern
this
days.
pesky guy that's just an annoyance, and the judge is trying to deal with really important shit like Francesca and stuff. He's got a lady that's going to be on the street, and you want your $500 because you got a text message.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is more important?
Well,
the $500 or the text message?
This poor lady is going to be on the street because this judge is too busy dealing with your text message to handle her probate matter.
You know, John, I pay for those courts. I may as well avail myself of their services.
That's not the way it works. I might as well be here, Your Honor, you know. They didn't build this courtroom for nothing.
I'm paying your salary, bitch.
That's a great approach. I would definitely recommend you go right in the door and you tell them, let me tell you something, okay? I pay you, okay? I pay your salary, Your Honor.
Yeah, and I'm requesting judicial notice of that fact.
Yes. You get paid last month? I paid part of that, okay?
This is my cursed case. It was the very first I ever filed. And that was in December of 24. And the trial started in June of 2025. It concluded in May of 2026.
If it's
it doesn't sound like it's all that concluded. He's still waiting on his order.
Yeah, the trial concluded. Is it a judgment? And what is it called? Is it a judgment, opinion, order? What is it called?
Well, did you win?
Well, no, when the judge says who won.
You haven't heard that part yet?
That's what I'm waiting for.
Okay, well then you don't have a judgment or anything. Is
it a verdict?
Yeah, the verdict is going to be coming in. It's likely to be accompanied by a written opinion that will lay out the foundation of why and stuff, and then you'll know if you won or not. Then the court will likely order you to submit a proposed judgment or something.
Already did.
So then the judge will,
you snuck in on us.
We'll deal with that. So you'll be fine. Just leave it alone. Don't push him.
I'm not pushing him. I haven't contacted them.
By the time we're leaving, you're like, get out. We don't do those, so you're safe here. It goes from one to the next to the next. So my guy rear-ended somebody on the highway. Aurora doesn't come out to accidents anymore. It was a relatively minor accident, but they said, we don't have enough police, so just exchange information and go. So he didn't get a ticket, but insurance, you know how that is. It's a rear end, right?
Right.
Call the police. Everybody's okay. And my insurance company calls me like a week later and says, well, he's hired an attorney and he says he's injured now. Is that common?
It's okay. I'd like to think that there's some vetting process that goes on when somebody claims that they're hurt, but we often don't know when they roll into our office, if there's truth behind it. But it comes out pretty quick
when they go to the doctor, right?
Yeah. So I wouldn't worry too much.
I haven't heard any more about it. So.
They'll deal with it and they'll handle it accordingly. A lot of people are like, "Well, it's commercial policy."
That's exactly what happened.
But it takes. Not everybody gets the concept that bigger limits don't mean bigger recoveries.
It just means you're covered for more.
It just means that there's more coverage. You still have the same set of damages,
right? And
so now bigger limits can mean more recovery if your damages exceed that. If they were catastrophic, that matters. But if you got an $8 case and $1 million of coverage, it's still an $8 case.
Yeah.
So.
How does it work if the guy's not illegal?
It really doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. That in today's day and age, if somebody threw that out as a defense, they would murder you. Oh my God! Like it matter. Discount bad. Think it's okay to. You can hear them now on how that would play.
Shit, we should just hire him,
right? Yeah, but you need a job. How was Dragon today? Reporting for duty. Nice. Feels like Friday for some reason.
It totally does.
I don't know why.
It totally does. Chris, any specials you want to discuss today?
We're just doing that 98, 88.
Okay. Yeah.
Full shower.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, the market just dropped 70 points in 30 seconds.
Oh, is there more unhingement?
They just
Iranian situation.
Kevin Warsh just had his first Fed meeting and left the rates unchanged. It looks like the market was not happy about that. They thought he was a shoe-in for lowering rates.
They still have to vote, don't they?
Well, the board voted and decided to leave them unchanged. So it's is not being well received by the market right now. It's dropped 110 points in 2 minutes.
Can you buy advertisements for your law practice on tow trucks?
I'm sure I could put anything I wanted just about anywhere.
Well, I know your industry regulates types of advertising, and right? Don't they? Like, you can't.
I mean, I don't know.
I just thought you were very regulated in what kind of advertising you can do.
The biggest thing about it is you can't. It's got to be truthful,
Oh, yeah.
You can't go out and get just stupid carried away, But
Wednesday for one of the wildest primaries in Colorado history, now in the home stretch. Heidi Ganal, she ran for governor. She'll give you her take on who's going to win that GOP primary and why. Join her at 4.
45 years strong, solving your problems, answering questions, taking complaints. This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
All right. Good afternoon. This is John Fuller on the Troubleshooter Network, and we are back for the third hour of this wonderful day on Wednesday. We are here in the studio with Chris Console with DiscountBath.com, and we're talking about all things remodeling, all things, who knows? The world is full of topics, and we're open to all of them today. So give us a call if we can help you. Before the break, we talked about, Dimitri had a question about, what do we do about these kind of deadbeat drivers and these people that clearly don't appear to have even a valid registration. Their tags have been dead for a year. How could they possibly have enough insurance, and where do we go for coverage? And I promised to talk about kind of the analysis that we use and where we find different coverages. And so here's kind of how it works. Everything starts with the at-fault driver. And if that guy has enough insurance to cover all the damages, we're gold, okay? But if he has no insurance, or if he only has minimal limits, and we have, an ER visit that was $75,000 like the host the other day had and stuff, then clearly that's not going to be enough. And we want to look to other possible avenues of recovery. Many people think, is there, can you go after other people in his household? Can we go after a roommate's policy or something like that? And the answer generally is no. There's no way to go after a roommate's policy. But sometimes there is the possibility of going after another family member's policy. So we have something in Colorado called the family car doctrine. And so in some situations, and I'll give you an example that was a real case. I had a gentleman who actually was killed in a car accident, hit by a guy on the road, and the person that hit him was out here from another state. He was working up in the mountains, just a kid at the ski resorts, and he had his own car, he had his own policy, but on the policy or on the title to the car, his dad was also one of the owners. So many people do that with their kids. They'll just be on the title with them as a co-signer, and they end up on the title. Well, the family car doctrine says basically that when something is a family car, and indeed having the dad as a co-owner of the vehicle, and we also happen to have a law in Colorado that said a kid that's away at college is still considered to be a resident of the parent's home. And so even though that parent lived back in, I want to say Tennessee or something, we were able to go back to the dad's insurance coverage. And as it turned out, the dad had a umbrella policy, and we were able to get every penny of that umbrella policy in that case. And had we not been able to do that, it would have been limited to just I think there was like 50 or 100,000 on the underlying coverage, which is just nothing when you've got massive bills and a flight for life and all this crazy stuff, and a victim who died, a wrongful death action. No amount of money can make up for the fact that he's gone and suffered that death. So that is one possibility. You can sometimes go after a family member. It doesn't happen that often. So it kind of takes that perfect storm of a kid with a parent and other coverage and that kind of stuff under what's called the family car doctrine. If we don't have that, you can't go after the neighbor, the roommate, the best friend. I mean, you just can't stack up all these other policies. You're almost uniformly limited to coverages that you have on your policy, and that's where we start looking at uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage, okay? The first place we look is your policy, okay? So you would have everybody's, insurance, they say like $2,550 or $5,100. That's the liability limits of coverage, and that deals with what would happen if you caused the accident. What we're looking for is down below under uninsured motorist or underinsured motorist, and it's that coverage that we're looking for that would stack on top of whatever the at-fault guy had. And literally, it just stacks on top. So if you had $50,000 below, it takes $51,000 of damages before you can start making any claims on your uninsured motorist coverage. And then it would be there dollar for dollar until you got to the end of that policy. And so your uninsured motorist coverage would go next over the at-fault party, okay? Then, depending on who you live with, we may be able to tap into other policies in your household. So if you had a resident relative, again, more frequently than not, it's going to be a parent or a blood kin, brother, sister, that kind of stuff, that lives in the same household, we can actually file a claim under their insurance policy.
Because of the family car policy?
No, because of the resident relative rule that's contained and set forth in your policy, and it's just the law in Colorado. So it's resident relative coverage. And so we would literally look to, we frequently see it with like a grown kid that's still living at home, has their own insurance, their own policy, but mom or dad still has a policy of insurance. And we'll go to the grown kid, our client's coverage first. So we stack up the at-fault driver's policy, then we go to our client's policy next. And to the extent that the damages are greater than that, we would then look to that mom or dad's policy for additional uninsured motorist coverage. And that will simply stack on top of where our client's policy is, which is on top of where the at-fault company is. So that's how we stack coverage. There's a very specific way that it comes into play. You don't just throw them all in a big pile and start cashing checks. But in a case where you have really bad damages and you just simply are looking for coverage, sometimes that can be the difference between a really terrible outcome and having a decent outcome. If somebody has an umbrella policy in there, generally that umbrella will kick in just over the policy that brought it to the dance. So if you had uninsured motorist and an umbrella, that would go in next, and then that resident relative policy would go in above the umbrella. So,
John, so my guess is the resident relatives are usually surprised by this turn of events if you start looking to stack their policies on top of everything else.
They may not be crazy about the idea of their grown kids still living at the house needing to use their insurance coverage, and that does happen. But the reality is this, uninsured motorist coverage is the only coverage you buy that requires somebody else to be at fault. Okay, so there's no penalty that can come from using the coverage. There's a state law that says you can't raise their premium because they used uninsured motorist coverage. It requires the other guy to be at fault. So why somebody would say, I don't want to use my coverage, we just can't do that. And I hear that. But why buy the coverage in the first place if you're never going to use it, right? And that is a factor. That does come up a lot. But the reality is, and for everybody that's listening out there, uninsured motorist is the only coverage that you buy that requires the other guy to be at fault. So there's no penalty to use it. That's why we want to buy so much of it, so that if something bad happens to you, you've got that covered.
And, you said something about a year and a half ago when I first met you, almost 2 years ago, that really stuck in my brain. You said, look, your uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage could be the final check that you get in your life. Remember that? And that really, really, really stuck in my brain, because there are people, and I knew one who was just so severely injured, could never return to work and relied on whatever check he finally got from whatever insurance company and then Social Security checks. And that's it. There's nothing left.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. And with all these yahoos out there that have no significant insurance, I mean, you're just crazy not to have good coverage for yourself. It's that important. We are going to go to a break real quick. We will be right back with your questions. 303-713-8255 is the number here in the studio.
Don't miss the Tree Farms
headliners.
Okay. What are you going to say?
I'm going to talk about Paul the Waterman for 10 seconds.
Here is John Fuller live in studio. That's cool. Judge Janine announces a drug ring bust near a D.C. school. Nice. Big dude.
Yeah, he is.
Or she's just tiny.
He's still big.
He's still big. That's a man right there.
Yeah.
So it's waterpros.net. And I've never done those really short ones, so that's why I want to do them in the second half, where if I go overtime, it's not going to screw up the network. 10 seconds, not much time.
Rock it. Look. Say what you got to say. Get it off your chest.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and and I'm wearing a collar and headphones. This is,
you're looking important. You look good doing it,
I watched WKRP on the internet.
So I don't know how you could be better prepared than that, know?
I want to be the Johnny Fever of consumer affairs.
Venus flytrap.
He was cool. So, okay. Bailey Quarters or Jennifer Marlowe? That's an easy one, guys. Come on.
There are better than both out there,
Well, I didn't give you a third option. I didn't say or Mary Ann.
Shannon and I were talking about Marissa Tomei earlier from like My Cousin Vinny and
about time someone gets stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
I don't care if it's me right now. I'm taking a fridge with me. Go ahead. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Who are my choices?
Certainly the far side.
Bailey or who?
Jennifer, the big blonde.
Gotcha.
Large lunged.
Oh, we're talking about
from
the actress.
Yeah,
Bailey.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's why you just take the stairs. It's so.
What was her name though? Her real name.
Low risk, high reward. Elevator up, stairs down.
I don't know.
Yeah, up and because I don't want to walk up those 4 flights.
That's like hula hand,
Not in the morning.
That guy
Who knew her,
is
actually?
still in here, and he's not going to take the stairs. And I'm not suicidal at all, but I would jump off the dock.
There's enough trees if you tie.
That was such an entertaining movie. A modern classic.
Which one?
My Cousin Vinny.
Cousin Vinny? Yeah.
That was awesome.
Almost every line of that movie is quotable,
Two guys, two mob thugs, hapless jackasses, keep getting tossed out of buildings that they're in. They're trying to be.
But my daughter, who's 30 years old, had no clue about that movie.
Who?
My daughter. Her and her significant other were at my house. And we're like, oh, My Cousin Vinny. And they're like, what?
I dated this chick about 15 years ago when I was single, and she said she's living with her cousin. I said, oh, what's your cousin's name? She said Vinny. I said, you are not telling me the truth.
Wow.
It was true. My cousin Vinny.
Wow.
She's like, what? Why is that funny?
If you don't know, you don't know,
I'm only doing Water Pros, and then I'll do Genesis, and then Denver Regen Medicine, and that kind of stuff. I think there are only 10 of them or so. But I'm only doing one at a time.
Gotcha. All right, 20 seconds there, D.
20 seconds?
20, 23, 22. No pressure.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Water Pros SouthPros.net. Call Paul the Waterman, 303-862-5554. How many times have you heard him on the show? Ask Paul the Waterman what's in your drinking water. It'll turn your hair white. Ask him about the whole house filtration system or just under the kitchen sink. Never buy bottled water again. WaterPros.net.
All right, we are back, and we are rapidly covering a lot of ground here. This is John Fuller for the Troubleshooter Network. Tom Martino, 303-713-8255 is the number. We are here to answer your questions, solve problems, take complaints. We are here to help you with anything going on in your life. So give us a call. We are happy to deploy all of our expertise to help you out and are waiting for your call. In the studio today is Chris Console, which is with DiscountBath.com. And Chris's entire job, if you will, is bathroom remodels and redos in your home. And he's a wealth of knowledge. And I wanted to talk about it because there's so many areas where people can mess up when they're hiring people to come into their home and do, repairs, do remodels, do additions, do add-ons. I mean, it seems to be the source of a lot of the complaints that we get here at the Troubleshooter Show. And so, Chris, listen, there's a lot of people out there that are kind of handyman people, and they do these little jobs, and they put it out there that they're qualified to do bathrooms. I mean, what do people really need to be concerned about when evaluating a contractor to do a bath remodel? What are the big roadblocks that you can run into?
A company is a good start, right?
Okay.
Chuck in a truck, he could be great. He could not be great.
Chuck in the truck? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So, he might be the best installer in the world, but you don't know. It's a crapshoot, right?
Right.
If he gets sick, unfortunately has an accident, he might not be back, and he's got your money. A company, maybe it costs a little bit more than Chuck, but you got backing. If a guy's sick, if something goes wrong, and nobody's perfect, jobs don't always go perfect, but there's somebody there that can take it over and fix it, or, there's some backing behind it. There's a reputation behind it. We were talking earlier about reviews. Google is a good place to look, right?
Yeah.
And I always look at reviews, and you can, if all the reviews sound like their friends wrote them, it's probably not a good review. If there's some problems that happen and the company took care of it, they're probably real reviews.
Yeah, I think that's true. If if the reviews talk about a member of your staff, and it's like, Johnny did this for me, or Bridget, or whoever, then you know that they're dealing with somebody in your company, and it's not just some generic review. You can go on to sites sometimes where, not only are the reviews not written in very good English, they're clearly just generic, great product, great price.
Right.
That's not a review. That doesn't tell me anything that I need to know about your company when I'm evaluating different ones to make a decision.
Yeah, 100%. Not everybody writes good reviews. They just, when I say good, meaning they're well worded. Some people are just short, but you can get a pretty good feel for a company by reading through reviews. And frankly, I always, when I'm looking at a company, I read the people that left the reviews. I look at what else they left.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if if their reviews are in different states and they're clearly just like a hired review writer or something, then you don't walk but run away from that review. That's not somebody you want to do business with.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Or again, like the air quotes customer left a review,
right?
And then you go and look at that customer, and he's got 60 one-star reviews, and that's all he does is mess with people.
Right. Well, what a lot of people don't know is when you have a business and you have a website, we are bombarded with people that are trying to sell us stuff for our website. Either, they want to give us articles to put on the website, or, they want to go out and endorse us from different websites and give us more validity to Google and the search engines and stuff. And it's not a day goes by that I don't get 3, 4, 5 solicitations for web-related services for our websites and stuff. And don't get excited, Dimitri, about suing these people.
No. But here's so these are people who are offering to provide you with really great reviews all over the internet.
Oh, you can buy reviews online.
I knew that. I just didn't realize there was such an army.
It's not always offering reviews. Just to be clear, your website is content, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for a law firm like mine, I have hundreds of pages of content on the web. I have, content for every subcategory of possible way that you could get in an accident, and information that I think is helpful for the consumer that is in that particular spot. Okay. So all that content has to get written. So you can write it yourself, or you can pay somebody to write it. A lot of companies will use, there are people that are SEO experts, and SEO means search engine optimization. And there are people that are experts in helping Google to find your website. And they do that by putting content on your website. And it may not always be content that they're hoping somebody goes to read, but they hope that Google reads it, and the web crawlers that decide, which website is more relevant than others when somebody types in car accident or something like that. So they just pack these websites with content. And there are companies that just write content. That's what they do. And they solicit, their customers by going on to people like my website and filling out contact information. And so I get like 5 or 6 inquiries a day that that could be somebody saying, hey, I'd like to talk about buying your service, but instead are somebody trying to sell me something and using my website to get to me. And they uniformly get deleted, and I would never do it. But some of them are just terrible. Like the English that they use is that they're Indian or somewhere else overseas doing that.
Like a very awkward translation into English, so.
Yeah, and it's like Dear Mister or something, and you're just like, that's not how we start.
Or kindly do this.
Kindly, kindly give us your bank account information, and we'll politely extract, all of your money or something along those lines.
But John, then you also get legitimate inquiries from accident victims.
Well, sure. Yeah.
And so how does that relationship begin? So somebody says, hey, look, I was injured in this event. Is this the kind of case you could handle? Do I have a case? What do you do then?
Well, for my firm, it almost 100% of the time ends up being a phone call with me personally. I am just a big believer that we need to start that relationship by having a one-on-one conversation with me. And so when you compare that to some of the other big firms in town, they have call screeners and intake personnel and all that stuff. I don't do that. I like to call my potential clients and have a one-on-one conversation. And we're just going to chat. We're going to talk about what happened. We're going to talk about the medical treatment, what insurance is out there. I'm going to explain the process to them and let them know kind of how things are supposed to work. We have come a long way in Colorado, but when I started this, there was a completely different set of laws on the books that defined who paid for what, and then that got turned on its head, and we went in a completely different direction. So you have to just explain it to people, because I deal with accidents every day, but most of my clients only have 1 or 2 in their entire life. So that's my firm. That's my way of doing business. I just want to talk to people and see if there's common ground there for us to work together.
Do you find that on average people think their case is worth a lot more than it really is?
Well, listen, people hear things on the television.
That's right.
And they hear, these big ridiculous numbers and stuff, and they assume, well, then all cases must be worth that. Okay. Mm-hmm. They can't possibly be worth that. It just, that's not how it works. But nobody advertises, my attorney got me $13,000. That's not what you ever hear. But, listen, generally speaking, I think the better you inform your clients how damages are calculated and how these things come together, the better off you are in the end of having a good understanding between you and the client. So
this is interesting because we're very different businesses, right? But people have an idea in their head what, for instance, they're going to get. They also have an idea in their head what a bathroom should cost.
Yeah.
Right. And my brother-in-law said this to me one day when I had first met him, and he's like, how much does a bathroom cost? I think it should cost $10,000. And he's sort of a funny dude. He's like, and I haven't based that on anything, but that's what I think it should cost.
But I just know.
and he's like, he says, I pulled that number out of thin air. And I said, well, it happens pretty regularly.
Yeah.
That's how that gets there. I'm not sure with, AI or with attorneys and PI, but AI works pretty good for a bathroom, actually, if you put in all the details that you're wanting to get.
Right.
We've tested it a few times. If I'm doing LVP floor and I'm tearing out this and I'm doing that and I do every detail, it'll get you in the accurate ballpark of what it really should cost.
Right. Yeah, that's great to know. I want to delve more into that because that's a critical thing. It's kind of the mistakes people make and then how they can not make them and save money and what it's going to cost to undo certain things. We're going to talk about all that in just a moment. We'll be right back. Yeah, it's a...
So I'll do another one after this break.
Okay.
For Denver region.
The last thing I really want people doing is going on AI and saying, what is my case worth? Because God knows, man, those things come up with crazy answers. And what AI can't figure out is like, and AI is pretty smart. We use it too, don't get me wrong. But like AI can't figure out the difference between Boulder County juries and Weld County juries and Adams County juries and Denver juries and the effect.
So the human element is
exactly. Or your client is female or male or a homemaker or a professional or a cook or a janitor. They don't get
that's so interesting.
That stuff.
Yeah, and it's not a thought that would ever cross my mind. Is what's the jury going to think?
Right. Well, juries are people just like you and I, and they're gonna relate to or not relate to your client depending on the circumstances.
So who picks the number? The judge or the jury? Or how does that end up?
For damages?
Yeah.
You fixing to go here?
No.
Oh, okay. That's great. We can talk about that when we come back if you want.
Yeah.
But the jury's pick the number.
Let's talk about that. That's actually interesting. Knock on wood, I've never been in that situation where I'd have to know that, right?
Yeah. No, it's interesting. But there's other things that I just find interesting, like cultural differences in negotiating, tactics and thoughts and stuff like that. Like, we demand X number of dollars in our cases, and in most of the cases, that's like you demanding a number to buy a car for. That's an expectation that there's going to be a negotiation and some back and forth, and maybe your bids are the same way. You expect some degree of give and take on those or whatever. But like certain groups, like I've represented, certain like all the African clients, Muslim clients, something like that. Man, if you put it in the demand and that's what you're asking, they're not going to be happy unless you get every penny of that. It's like, that's not how it works. You're just like, no. And they're like, well, you said it. That's how much it's going to take. And you're like, no. We don't give the demands to those clients. We're like, no. You don't want to see it.
Yeah. Oh, funny.
How many commercials are there?
Good Lord. Maybe you need to
6 minutes like normal.
Don't be dallying around when you get up to the microphone there. Get her done,
I blame Max.
It's always his fault, yeah.
I can't help it. I just work here. The longest break for commercials is always 6 minutes.
Because of the way the Martino is structured, especially in those first 2 hours, 6 minutes. Depending on how long
Tom or Mark go on their lives.
That's
true. Might be longer.
I guess. I guess my question is, does Michael have the
It's kind of
breaks?
funny that the head of the SPOC is
longer.
fair.
Longer? Oh, okay.
And there's the difference too because they have 3 spot blocks an hour, where over there they have 2.
That group is anything but, you know.
Well, no, I think it's just the way that the clocks are and everything. So
I will be happy to not have to sit in this chair for a long time. This is the single most uncomfortable chair I've ever sat in my life.
There's different theories as to why do 2 spot blocks versus.
I was here last week for 3 days in a row, and I mean, my back was sore. I'm like, why the hell is it so sore, you know? It was this chair.
It's the chair, huh?
I'm sure of it.
Where over there it's longer talk segments, but the spot block is also longer. Yes, there's almost 20 minutes of content between a spot block over there.
How much is there here, roughly?
Tom likes to push it to about 15 minutes.
Tom doesn't really do the 15-minute thing.
Yeah, but 8 to 12, 6 to 7.
He breaks after 8 to 12, or
Yeah,
I thought he always went over like 8 to 12.
That last one at that 45, that last segment we're talking 2-3 minutes.
I've seen him come back right before the top of the hour with like 32 seconds. So many times it's not even funny.
Who's that going to help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
630 KHAL, an iHeartRadio station.
Denver Regenerative Medicine, 720-583-1648. Call Dr. Joel. They are so much more than testosterone replacement and skinny shots. Ask Dr. Joel if the stem cell therapy treatment is right for your back pain, knees, shoulders, hips, even treatment for neuropathy. Denver Regenerative Medicine, 720-583-1648.
Got to get me some of those skinny shots. So, this is John Fuller. We're back on the Troubleshooter Network, and we are having a great conversation today with Chris Console with DiscountBass.com. Chris, you've got to have seen just about everything that people can do wrong on a bath
No,
project.
I haven't.
No?
We're always surprised. So.
I think back on all the different projects that I have screwed up over the years, and I've learned a lot by doing it wrong multiple times.
Yes.
But I was kind of getting prepared for the show today, and a list came up of the largest DIY bathroom mistakes.
Oh, really?
And so I'd like you to comment on some of those, and I'm going to go through the list and tell me if I'm off track here, or if Mr. AI has got it right or wrong here. Okay.
All right.
Water is the enemy that you underestimate.
Yes, that's true.
What does that mean?
It's just water. And boy, it goes everywhere, and it can cause damage. And
so what this was talking about in the list, and you can probably talk for hours about it, but waterproofing, barriers underneath tile and underneath like Durock and stuff for shower pans.
Correct.
Is that something that you will not cut corners and not use in a project?
You can't. And, I think one of the big ones is we do a fair amount of steam showers. Mm-hmm. And obviously steam is water vapor, right? And it gets even more places. And you have to do that the right way. You have to build the ceiling so it slopes so the water doesn't stay up there and it rolls off. It goes down a wall. And you have to waterproof. You have to do the right backer board. The screws matter. They'll rust if you don't do the coated screws.
Right. And then the other end, with steam showers in particular, you're talking high temperature. Mm-hmm. You're taking a cold shower and then heating it up to 100 and something degrees, 104, 105 degrees, and then back down to room temperature after that. I mean, that material is moving and shrinking and contracting and expanding with the heat and stuff.
It changes.
I mean, that substrate material is is flexible, I should say.
Yes, correct.
And it allows for that movement. If you didn't have that movement, there's no way that would maintain any degree of waterproofing behind that tile and underneath that that material, right?
Correct. Yeah, and over time, it's going to get behind there to the wood, the studs.
Exactly.
And, and that's where the mold and the mildew and everything.
I actually had a new home that I bought that did not have any sort of that rubberized material behind it, and that's exactly what happened. Water got down in behind the tile.
Yep.
I mean, they have like 3 things on this list on this one shower. The little seat in the shower didn't drain positively off the seat.
Yep.
And so the water just eventually found a way to get through the grout and behind the tile.
Yep.
And then sure enough, we got mold, which, Colorado's not the healthiest, easiest place for mold to grow. So if it grows, there's a lot of water in there.
Correct, yeah.
And it's not just a drop or two. It was wet, through to the core.
Yep.
And that was a brand new home that was, done in. So
we find a lot of stuff that, not working on that part of the bathroom, but you tear out a floor and you're like, you can see some water damage, and that's probably coming from the shower. So now we got to get into the shower.
How often do you find like regular drywall behind tile?
It's hard to say because the way we tear it out, you take it with the tile.
With the tile.
Yeah. So there, tricks of the trade, right? But you sawzall around the tile line and pull it out.
Right.
You can sort of tell, but not a lot. It's not something that we commonly find, but when a homeowner that didn't know what they were doing did their own shower, and there's usually a reason we're replacing that shower, right? So that's when you see it.
Right. Do you use like green board or do you use Durock for your showers?
Neither of those, actually.
Okay.
So when we do tile, we use a product called Go Board.
Okay.
It's made by Johns Mansville here in Colorado, actually. There's similar products, but we like this one better. It's firmer, and it can be put in a steam shower, so that we like that.
What is it made of? Is it another concrete kind of based board?
It's not. It's light, which is another reason we like it, because it's easier for the installers to manage,
right.
But very rigid. And I don't know the answer. I know it's got some fiberglass in it, but that's probably, I'm not sure what it's made out of, but it's waterproof.
But it's made to hold the tile, made to handle water,
and it's
made to handle temperature.
Yeah, waterproof, which is important. It's not water resistant. On our solid walls, we use a product called Dent Shield, which is a drywall with a plastic or rubber liner on the front of it, so it's also technically waterproof.
Interesting. And I haven't done a bath or shower project in forever, so neither one of those even existed just a few years ago, right?
Yeah, correct. We've been doing Go Board for, I don't know, maybe 7-8 years, something like that. But good products. That's something that technology is advanced, and purple board or green board is still code in a shower, but we don't use it.
Gotcha. How often do you find negative slope or like seats and floors that don't really drain the way they're supposed to?
Yeah, so a bench or a sill or a shelf or a wall cap, you often find that those were not put in right, especially on a tract home.
Right. And tell me, that's just a recipe for problems.
Yeah,
right?
The water's going to sit, if it's a negative slope, it's really going to sit. And a bench seat in a shower is a typical place where we find a lot of leakage.
You mean leakage like into the inside of the wall and under the floor?
Under the bench, and then that gets into the wall and underneath the shower pan. So,
that can go on for years and years.
Yeah,
and then
we pulled one out over in southeast Aurora. It's probably been 7-8 years. And there was literally a pool underneath the shower. And it was probably standing water of about 7-8 inches.
What?
Holy cow.
And a lot of it, right? It was a decent sized shower. And they were like, well, it's not leaking into the house. And it was a big house, and we're walking around and trying to figure out, well, it was over the patio. And the ceiling on the patio was waterproofed, and it was just sitting in there. It was a real bad mess.
An expensive one, too.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. All right, we're going to take one more break here and come right back with more of this. Next, I want to talk about moving toilets. So I'm sure that's a fun and exciting topic.
Yeah, that's a great topic.
All right, cool. Be right back.
Now, Impact Traffic.
Over on the east end through Aurora, I-225 southbound at Mississippi Avenue. A crash has been moved over to the right shoulder. This was a multiple lane block accident just a couple minutes ago, so we're still seeing about 10 minutes of delays with slow traffic back from 6th Avenue. Otherwise, pretty quiet drive through town. Some normal slowdowns northbound I-25 through the downtown area, starting in Alameda to about Colfax. With traffic, I'm Mark Swan.
This report is sponsored by Taking a Walk Podcast. I'm Buzz Knight, the host of the Taking a Walk Podcast, and join me for an upcoming episode with Amy Grant talking her remarkable journey. That's Amy Grant coming up on the Taking a Walk Podcast on the iHeartRadio.
Yeah, watching that first. Did I watch the second one first?
Go for it.
Compass Insurance Group, 303-996-9000. Brian Burns is our in-house insurance expert.
Which one?
Call him to ask about the solar, hail, and wind roof coverage. And not only that, not only home insurance, business insurance, auto insurance, life insurance, renter's insurance, umbrella, boat RV, motorcycle, flood insurance. Compass Insurance, 303-996-9000 or theinsurancehelpcenter.com. Let's talk about Fix It 24/7. Not only in Denver, but now in Colorado Springs. 720-526-3939 or fixmyhome.com. We already talked about their $39 air conditioning, clean, and inspection service for $39 for new customers. That's not all they do. Plumbing and electrical work too. Plumbing fixture upgrades, replacement, and installation. Here's a service that's really valuable. Emergency service, even in the middle of the night. I used them 3 times in the past year, unfortunately. The technician was always there. The time they said they'll be there with a van full of tools and exactly the price they quoted me on the phone. 720-526-3939. Fixmyhome.com. Welcome back to the Tom Martino Troubleshooter Show. We've got Chris. As our in-studio guest from Discount Bath. Oh, it's still break time? Did I do those commercials? Oh, shit. I had my...
You're good, buddy.
I had my microphone on when I was asking you.
That's fine.
Because there was a silence. I didn't realize...
Let's give you a second to breathe.
Oh, I'm so sorry, dude.
Don't even worry about it.
I'm such an asshole.
Did you save him?
It's hard to host.
It's not like Tom ever screwed up.
Oh, there you go.
Don't even worry about it, buddy.
Okay, thank you. I looked and John was missing, and there was silence in my headphones, and I thought, oh wait, we're back.
That's pretty good.
Oh, and Dragon, I already did that Compass one. Should we delete it or leave it there for the next break?
It's gone. Don't worry about it.
Okay, thanks.
They're at a brewery.
No. Well, of course they're at a brewery.
Right.
Yeah, I mean...
It's probably Mark's first destination.
You'd be stranded on a desert.
Oh, is that
island
what are those? What are those? Is that a bear?
Yeah, it looks like it. But you're in Alaska. Why isn't it white?
Exactly. Not everything there is white. Wait, green? That's not right.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
green. There's trees. Oh wow! Look at that thing.
That's the ship they're on?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's got to be it.
Well, I mean, how many other ships are going to be there for?
Hopefully not a lot. I hate going places when there's just packed with people.
Well, especially if you're going to Alaska, there better be a few people there. That looks fun. Yeah.
It does, doesn't it? I'd love to go to Alaska.
John, if you don't object, I'll do Gravina's when we come back and then turn it over to you.
Yeah, that's fine.
I object.
Overruled.
Have you
No, it's a new one, right?
No. Session in the Backrooms are the best movies right now. And I'm not a movie guy, but I love the Backrooms.
Did you see the movie?
The movies? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the movie's great. Love it.
Yeah, I don't think I'll pay to go see it in the theater. I'll probably just wait till it starts streaming. Yeah.
It wasn't as scary as I would have wanted, but it was fine. Okay. The plot was great.
I think I asked you about this. Did they have the little wire monster or anything? I don't quite get how they would.
He told me not to say anything.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny watching it the second time, knowing what I know. It makes sense. It makes sense more of what it is.
I don't know how you would do that for live action, but it could work.
But I know I want to see the Obsession one. That one's. I saw a couple clips of it. It looks freaky, dude. It looks unsettling. What's wrong? Why is this 7 string only $400?
Great movies coming back and more on the Joe Pag Show. Tonight from 6 to 9 on 630 KHOW.
Gravina's Windows and Siding, but not only windows, entry doors, even French doors. Gravina's represents more than 20 manufacturers. They offer more than 50 lines of windows. Call them at 303-GRAVINA. That's 303-472-8462.
All right, we are back. This is John Fuller live on the Troubleshooter Network, and we are here to help solve your problems, take your complaints, and help you out with problems that you are having. Give us a call, 303-713-8255. We have just over another hour to help you, so get on the phone now. We've got open lines ready to help you out. In the studio, we have Chris Console today with DiscountBath.com. Here in Denver, one of the leading bathroom remodeling companies in the Denver area, and just a wealth of knowledge. And so we were talking about some of the problems that DIYers run into and that ultimately sometimes require professionals to come in and fix. Talk to me about moving bathrooms or toilets there, Chris.
That's a really big challenge in a finished room.
Okay.
If you can get to the toilet, and the plumbing is specifically the issue from underneath, like an open basement, not as big a deal. But in an upstairs master bathroom, usually you're not going to be able to do it. Sometimes you can get left or right if it's within that same bay of joist. So if you're designing a bathroom around moving a toilet, you probably want to make sure it can be done before you get very far with the design.
What about these homeowners out there, or these home builders, I should say, that, Colorado's kind of a basement type country, and we all have, seen these stubbed in bathrooms and stuff that they put in basements. Are those ever in the actual right place?
Well, the answer is yes, but rarely.
Right?
Yeah. So there are some forward-thinking builders that actually put them in the right spots.
Right.
But I'd say 90% of the time we're going to move them. That's actually a pretty easy move. It involves busting up concrete and moving it. But
it's not that easy. I was going to say it's a big project that's way beyond homeowner to start chipping out concrete.
For sure.
And replumbing and refilling the concrete. And
I should qualify that through my filter, right?
Right.
It's easier for us than when somebody wants to move a toilet that's already upstairs. Is we can move the plumbing in a concrete floor relatively easy.
But not necessarily upstairs in the floor and the wall and everything
with finished
else.
drywall, and you have to have the right angle of drain, and that's a big pipe, and that's why you can't move it.
What about people buying bathroom vanities, toilets, sinks, that kind of stuff before they really have a firm measurement on what's going to happen in the new
That's
bathroom?
also a big problem.
Yeah?
So you either get it too big or too small, right? And then there's the little tricks of the trade, but you have a 60-inch vanity. in a 59-inch alcove,
right,
and it doesn't fit. You might be able to shave a little bit off the drywall.
They don't
and
make
it fit in
vanity shrinkers, do they?
No. So what you really want to do is you buy a little bit smaller size vanity,
right,
and then you're going to put some filler strips in there in order to make it clean across the front,
right,
and then obviously a custom countertop and fit it in there.
But the countertop's the key to making all things work.
Yeah.
But what about the distance from the toilets to the vanities and things like toilet paper holders and stuff? I mean, I've seen cabinets that were so close to the toilet that a person can barely fit, much less
so
roll
code
of
is 30 inches, right? 15 inches on either side of the center of the toilet.
Okay,
so that's code.
There's clearance that's required, or is that how close the toilet paper has to be to you?
It's clearance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So 15 inches from the center of the toilet, so the drain, right? And as you go 15 inches either side, you're to code. There's a lot, and stuff slid by a lot in the past with builders, and they're a little smaller. If it's grandfathered, it's grandfathered. But if you're doing something new, you want that 30 inch.
Chris, how much of a difference does actually fixture quality have on the project success? And here's an example. I had a plumber come out and give me an offer on replacing the shower valve and the handle system. And just that device, without labor, was, I'm not kidding, like $600 or $700 without the labor. I can buy it for $89. So when we come back, can you let me know what's going to go wrong at Home Depot in my case?
We'll be right back.
That measurement that more people would use that for. Oh, okay.
So I received a text here today. I've got a trained cat that uses my toilet.
That's so cool. Can you do that? Do you install cat toilets?
Is that your cat? I remember this story.
Dude, I wish my cats knew how to use and flush the toilet.
Was that a Seinfeld episode?
No, they actually on the YouTube.
It's a real thing.
They have cats. Yeah, they have a special seat so they don't fall in the water.
Really?
And they are trained to use the toilet, and then they're trained to flush it.
Maybe you talked about this one.
Not me. That was somebody else.
Oh, it might have been.
You've tried to train your cat to do that, haven't you?
No.
Come on.
One of my cats is a Norwegian forest cat, and you do not want to try to train her something she doesn't want to do.
What the hell is a Norwegian forest cat?
Most people confuse them with Maine Coons because they look very similar. They're huge and fluffy,
right?
Super smart, very strong. I mean, they're built to live in the woods.
Will they fetch?
Yes. That's how I found out what she is. She started playing fetch with me without any training. I would launch the ball, she'd bring it back.
My daughter's mom has it looks like a leopard cat.
Oh, yeah.
It's a specific breed, but they're super smart, and they're just like a dog. I mean, they'll fetch, they're very dog-like.
Yep. A customer with one of those cats.
Yeah.
Beautiful cat.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Expensive, too.
Yeah,
There's an old...
you have to pay for those. Mine were all free.
Yours are just old jungle cats, right?
One of mine was rescued from Houston.
Really?
Brought here, and I got her at the rescue.
How did you find it?
So this rescue organization went down to Houston to an overflowing shelter, and they rescued 80 cats from there, brought them back.
Good God.
So I got one of them. Imagine driving that van.
With 80 freaking cats in it? Good God.
So she's from Houston. She is so sweet. But the Norwegian forest cat, she's
never even heard of it.
I've never heard of that before.
It's kind of cool.
Because almost everybody confuses them, as I did at first, with Maine Coons. And she's really big. When she stretches out from nose to tail.
Long
what does she weigh?
That they have in churches that people sit at.
That's not too bad.
That's what they're actually called? Yeah. Wow, okay. I thought that was a funny name you gave them. But yeah, this guy's giving away church pews.
Put her nose on my chin, and then the tip of her tail is flopping around at my ankles.
Really?
I didn't know where that was going there.
I know.
First,
I
was like, oh, I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to let him finish that sentence out,
No, it's not one of the... No.
All right, I'll be back.
I have 3 of those at home. Can I get $150 for that?
Thank you, though.
Pass.
Yeah, we do.
Do you want to meet?
No, you got something. You brought some other ones. So, okay.
Yeah, sure.
I found another one of those devices.
Somebody will buy it though. That's the crazy thing.
I brought some myself. Oh, like the stop sign. I might buy it.
Oh yeah.
I got real honey barbecue snack sticks.
Oh, nice.
Get much better than that.
No. Where'd those come from? Yeah, you are from the South, ain't you? Brought your own knife too. No, well, sure. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Look at this.
Yeah.
That is so sick.
It's got the suicide doors and everything, yeah.
Oh my god. It's only 30,000. It looks great.
Yeah, probably no engine.
No, it runs. They have a video of it running.
These taste like something off the barbecue pit, you know?
What's that?
I said, these taste like something off the barbecue pit.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Really good. Where'd you get them at?
A house listing?
A place called Hudson Lockers.
Why not?
Do you know where Hudson is?
Mm-hmm.
5,000
north of Brighton on 76. Little meat company there that's been there for over 100 years.
Oh, really?
They have great food. They're not like a super high-end meat market like you might go in to buy a $50 steak or something, but they kill and cut everything fresh there.
Really?
So they're all fresh meats and stuff. They have great bacon that they make and these stuff. Their steaks are really good. They're just not like, you know, Wagyu, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But we've been buying meat there for years and years. It's just a local family that's on about the fourth generation of, you know.
have to try that out. I live in Centennial, East Centennial, and there's a new butcher that opened in Parker, so we were pretty excited about that. But they're not a real butcher. They just have packaged meats from a butcher.
This is country where they back the cows up to the back door and they wind up in the cooler out front.
Yeah, that's what we were hoping for. It's my wife's family owns a ranch, so we split meat every year.
Yeah.
So we get buffalo and a cow and
that's all we
pig.
use is buffalo, really. You know.
So good. But every now and then I just want the ranch meat is good, but it's not a 2-inch ribeye.
Not
you know
super aged Angus.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
All right, I'm done with Facebook.
We have a place in Florida that we go to that is super high-end meat. I mean, like crazy expensive. You can't afford to eat there very often, but when you go in, they've got these reach-in coolers all the way down one side of the store with aged, like, big ribeye racks and stuff like that. And some of them are people that buy the whole rack and then age it under specific conditions for so long in the store, and they monitor it and they have the right humidity and all this. You know, you can't just throw it in your fridge at home and get a good outcome. But some of them are for the store, and they'll, you know, when they get to a certain age, and I mean, there's such a science behind that, but people are like, well, the difference between 45 and 50 days has a different flavor, you know, outcome and stuff. Dimitri, try you one of these, buddy. Thank you. Let me grab that napkin back from Chris, or half of it. Thanks, Chris. I never know what I think you'll really like that. That is very generous. Honey barbecue.
Ooh, that smells so smoky.
But anyway, that place is crazy. But they have seemingly every age that you would want. Like if you're a 50-day kind of guy or a 200-day ribeye or whatever, you know.
How do you know that you're that kind of guy?
I don't know. Other than you have to have done it
you
20
know,
times
right?
to get there, you know. I would go in and be like, I am completely in the dark, have no idea, so help me out. But it does seem to make a difference in flavor. And people talk about the umami of whatever at this temperature and this many days is something special.
That's it.
30 KHOW. 45 years strong, solving your problems, answering questions, taking complaints. This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
GenesisTotalExteriors.com. How many times have you heard Mark Szymanski, the contractor, call into the show to answer questions about projects that have gone wrong? 303-679-8509. Roof, siding, windows, and doors. They offer virtual estimates, so you don't even have to have one of their estimators come out initially. GenesisTotalExteriors.com.
All right. Good afternoon. John Fuller here on the Troubleshooter Network. We are back live in the studio. And I want to go back to a subject that we talked about in an earlier segment. Chris brought up the ability to seemingly get pretty darn close on AI with estimating out bath projects and stuff, which is probably really a good thing because people are not shell-shocked when they've done enough research to know really what they're getting into and probably the pain points of what's going to make a big difference between the gold-plated, whatever versus the Home Depot model and stuff like that. But we had a listener email in the show and ask about why not use AI for my line of work, for PI, and estimating what a case is worth. And that is certainly something that people do. I mean, honestly, people do everything on the computer. And the problem that I have with it, and we certainly use AI, tools within my firm. We have to stay on the cutting edge of the technology and stuff. But here's where AI comes up short, okay? AI doesn't know your client, okay? AI doesn't know the nuances and the differences, say, between Weld County and Boulder County or Denver and Arapahoe. And what is the difference between Denver and Arapahoe if you have a male client versus a female client? Or a client that is a professional versus a client that's a construction worker. All of these factors are relevant to being able to accurately predict what some hypothetical jury may do with a particular set of facts. Because we're all humans, and we all are gonna judge, a client's damages through this filter that we have in our brain of what's right. The standard, I always say it and sometimes in my sleep I think I say it, but the true measure of damages is what's reasonable, necessary, and related, okay? So what is reasonable? How do we define reasonable? It's reasonable for you, but not for you. How does that differ? I use the example sometimes of, let's say you had to go to the doctor and get stitches taken out of a cut that you had a couple weeks before or something. There's nobody that's going to dispute the cost of actually removing those sutures. That's a given, right? But what if you took a limo to the doctor's office and it cost $500 versus a $30 Uber to go to that visit? Is that reasonable? If it is reasonable, what if we got the limo with champagne for you to drink on the way home because you're so happy to get your stitches out, you want to celebrate? Is that reasonable, right? My point is that reasonableness is different for different people, and it's different based on the community that you're in and the norms of that community and stuff. So there's no way that AI, at least as it's currently constructed, can truly take into consideration those human factors that go into evaluating the damages in all of our cases. So people hear on the TV news, they hear of a firm that got me $1 gazillion and stuff. But there's so many factors that go into evaluating that. Was that enough? Did they get $1 million on a case that should have been worth $4 million? I don't know. Did they collect a single dime out of that judgment? I don't know that either. Was it a law firm that was just going to try the case for the fun of it because the guy was uninsured and there's no chance they're ever going to collect that judgment, and they're just trying it for a practice trial or something? That happened.
Wait, they do that? They would just pursue a pointless case.
Yes.
Pointless from the perspective of their client.
True.
Just to have practice and training?
I think so. What other reason would you go against an uninsured person and get a big fat judgment that you're never going to collect?
Good Lord. That's so disappointing on several different levels.
So you're not leaving the client out in the cold. You're a fierce advocate going to bat for your client. But if the reality of it is that you're never going to collect a dime, why spend $15,000 in experts and going to trial and everything else to get to a point at the end where you still have an uncollectible judgment? Right?
Mm-hmm. John,
so
one of the components of your work is probably severely misunderstood in the popular culture, because we always hear, especially on sitcoms, people trying to get pain and suffering, and they think it's worth millions of dollars. And I think that's significantly misunderstood because it's been misrepresented as some kind of gold digging in the popular culture and in entertainment media. But people who are legitimately hurt in an accident, I mean, they really do feel pain, and they really do feel suffering, and they feel anxiety and uncertainty and everything else. And I firmly believe they are due some sort of compensation for that. How do you determine what is the proper compensation for somebody who doesn't even know if they're going to be able to walk properly in a couple of years? Yeah. What happens?
So, in a vacuum, there's two types of damages: economic damages and non-economic damages. And those are... those are pretty easy to calculate if you're talking about economic damages. It's things like medical bills and lost wages and future medical bills and stuff like that. You just take a calculator out and you can kind of add them up. We may disagree about what something's going to cost, but the fact that you need it, is mostly something that we can all agree upon.
Those are hard, legitimate facts. Right. You add up the bills, and there's your answer.
The non-economic damages are all of those intangibles that make up the true impact, the true damages that people suffer as a result of accidents. And it's different for every person. I mean, if you're a world-class mountain hiker, right, and you can't go hike the mountains anymore, that may be a life-altering, accident for you that for somebody else may not have come even close to that. So the job of a jury is to evaluate and apply their reasoned life experience to the true damages and losses that our clients incur. For somebody, it may be the ability to pick up a grandchild, and to nurture a child. Some may be recreational activities that they can't do. Some may be, I can't walk or run or jog or do the things that used to be fun for me to do.
Well, and don't forget the compensation for the time you spend on going to physical therapy sessions.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And recovering from operations.
All of those things fall into that big umbrella of, what they call pain and suffering. And I hate those words because it doesn't do justice to what the full breadth of the intangible damages are.
That term has become stigmatized.
It has.
And unfairly so.
Yeah.
Right? Because that plaintiff or that victim is the only one that's not being paid for every minute that he's in this case.
Yeah, that's very true.
The judge gets paid, you get paid, the paralegals get paid, the insurance adjuster gets paid, the victim gets paid zero for that time.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So that's really the answer to the question is, that these are the things that we have to figure out what they mean to that individual. They're unique to that person, and what may be important to one person may have zero value to another. The value of being able to ride your Harley, across country or something. I will never ride a Harley across country, So that doesn't mean anything to me, but to my client, that's his whole thing in the world. That's a tremendous loss. And so it's my job as the attorney to help make the insurance companies and ultimately make the juries understand what the meaning of these losses are to my clients.
So when this case goes to the jury, my guess is you spend proper amount of time on calculating the actual real damages. So what do you call them? The tangible damages,
economic damages.
Right.
They're all real damages.
Yeah, there's not much debate there about how much is your hospital bill and your rehab and all that stuff. I would imagine that most of your time talking to the jury has to do with these intangible damages.
Yeah, it just depends on the case. I mean, it depends on the case. Some cases are very heavily economic damages. If you have somebody that's got a career altering injury or something like that, then that becomes the focus of the case. And there's also caps and limitations on damages that come into play. And so some things are capped, some things are not capped. So
and that's by state law, right?
Yeah, and so it just depends. If we've got massive economic damages that are not capped, that may become the true focus of the case, and we spend less time on the non-economic damages. In another case, we may not have that many medical bills, but listen, if you're a concert violin player and you lose, the use of your hand, it may only take a couple $1,000s to heal it up, but the impact of it is tremendous on your life and your everything. So that may become everything the case is about, whereas the medicals are very small, So they're all different. It's all unique to my clients, and it's my job to figure that out and put forth the best case.
Are there caps on those non-economic damages?
Yes, there are.
And is the jury advised of both the caps and the limits of the defendant's policy?
The jury will not even hear about whether insurance exists.
Wow.
And no, the juries are not instructed as to what the caps are. And so there have been plenty of cases where the juries will knock one out of the park and bring back a verdict that is reduced down considerably with the application of caps.
And so the jury's under the impression that the lawyer on the defense side represents just the defendant. And are they led to believe that the defendant hired the lawyer? Because they're not going to say, oh, I'm so-and-so lawyer from State Farm.
They definitely don't say that. I think juries are smart. I think juries can kind of figure out that for the most part, we probably have an insurance company involved here. There are questions that get asked during voir dire that a lot of jurors could figure out probably mean that there's insurance at play in the case, but it truly doesn't matter because the presence of insurance should not impact the calculation of what the damages are. So we've got to go to a break right now. We're running behind. We'll be right back to continue this discussion.
So I'll do water pros when we come back real quick. Dude, this is fantastic. It actually tastes and feels like real meat.
What can we help you out with?
Yeah, I'm contrasting it to
Yes, they are.
Well, it's still delicious.
You brought up meat powder. There's no meat powder.
No, we just don't have any right now.
Well,
we just don't have any calls right now, that's all.
One is not meant to be a substitute for the other. I want both. In my life, I want both.
Yes, it is.
In my life, I want one of these and one of those, not two of these or two of these.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Do you mind hanging on through this break?
2 and 0 and 2 and 0 doesn't work. 1 and 1 for me.
I'm going to put you on a hold. Hang tight, of course. Can we get to Liz?
I was in a jury once. A DUI case.
For DUI?
Denver. I loved being on the jury. The night before.
You got two different questions on inheritance? Adam?
Sorry, my headset was off.
You got two different questions on inheritance?
No, the first one it auto-filled. I got to fix that.
What's the first one about?
The first one, the one-on-one is inheritance. The second one is about spam.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Spam
I like
calls?
it. I like it fried.
I did open with that once. My opening statement was, this case is about spam. And I'm not talking about the delicious canned product.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
You're a tool.
Well, I watched 12 Angry Men to prepare for the trial.
Should have watched Suits.
I prevailed.
I'm sure you did.
It worked. Everybody loves delicious spam. Even the judge.
The judge is like, oh, dear God.
No, the judges love me.
I'm sure.
Because I'm very detail-oriented.
Right.
And I don't fuck things up.
Right.
Like, I've never had anything kicked out because I didn't do it right or didn't sign it or didn't title the motion the right way.
Right. That's good.
I'm very detail-oriented because I don't want to look like a total dick in the courtroom.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
And I bring the facts, baby. Chris, I also wear my special golden court boots.
Going to court boots?
They know your ass is serious then. And with your soft, silky locks and everything, you know.
My soft, silky hair.
Did your cousin Vinny show up with you?
Water Pros. Okay, I'll do Water Pros.
Yeah, we went quite a bit. 376 down on the Dow.
What's that?
The Dow dropped 370 when they didn't lower interest rates. So it was like,
but it was obvious
60
that was
down.
coming, right?
Should have been, I think. Everybody just thought Trump installed this guy to be the, he was going to deliver.
What's his name still on the board?
He's on the board still, but.
Studios. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Waterpros.net. Call Paul the Waterman. Ask him what's really in your water. It will turn your hair white. Paul the Waterman, 303-862-5554. Never buy bottled water again. He can filter your entire house or just under the kitchen sink. Waterpros.net.
All right, good afternoon. John Fuller here, back live in the studio on the Tom Martino Network, and we are just cranking through the day here. We've got a couple callers on the line. We're going to go to Liz first, who has a question on inheritance. Liz, what is going on with you?
Hi, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you for calling. What's going on?
Well, my husband, his mother died in February. She was 97 years old, and he and his sister are inheriting the house together. They have a contract to sell that will be closing in about a week and a half.
Okay.
And we just wondered what that looks like as far as an inheritance. Is that taxed?
That is a great question. And I don't know. I mean, the way it works is you're entitled to a step-up in basis when the home is inherited by your husband and his sister. And so you'll have to know kind of what the basis is at the time of the inheritance. If it steps up to the retail value and they sold it immediately, there shouldn't be an awful lot of gain on that sale. If they've held it for a while or had to spend money on it.
Kind of the status that since she died in February,
okay.
and they didn't assess the house value at that time, but it did go up. Obviously it's went up in value, but not very much in the stepped up value. So you're saying they will only owe the stepped up value?
Well, my understanding
between this.
Yeah, my understanding, and I'd want to verify this, but my understanding is that when you inherit a piece of property, you're entitled to a step up in basis. And what that means is that the basis of that property steps up to the market value at the time that you inherit it. So if the grandmother, had the house for 50 years and had a basis of $8 from back when she bought it, and now it's worth $500,000, they're not going to tax your husband with $250,000 of gain on that inheritance. You're entitled to a step up, so the basis would become the fair market value of the property at the time of the inheritance, and then if he held it for a number of years, any appreciation would then be a taxable gain on that property. But the fact that he inherits it and sells it immediately means there's probably not a heck of a lot of gain that's going to be on the house, particularly if you're paying commissions or any selling expenses and stuff like that. Did you have any thoughts, Dimitri?
Oh, the only thought I had was this is going to be so technical. I would call Dan McKenzie. It's not a plug for him, but call Dan McKenzie, schedule a consultation. He might say that you're doing everything right, or he might find something that will save you $100,000 in capital gains taxes that you didn't see coming. So give him a shout. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah, I would do that before the closing date if it were me, just to double check. But that's my rudimentary understanding of the basis laws and how they apply to inheritances.
So Dan McKenzie is like an inheritance specialist?
Yeah, he does wills, trusts, inheritance. Yeah. He's our in-house expert for this. And his website is coplans.co. That's coplans.co. And he's extremely knowledgeable, extremely experienced, and just a priceless resource for us and our listeners.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I was really looking at the Help Center website, and I couldn't find an inheritance specialist or someone that dealt on that.
Yeah, you're looking for really an estate planning or an estate type attorney. That's going to be the guy that has the expertise for what you're talking about. Yeah. So give Dan a call, and I'm sure he will help you out. Thanks so much for the call, Liz. We appreciate it.
Call us back. Let us know what he said in case we get another question like this. It's a pretty interesting topic.
All right, next caller on the line is Pat. How can I help you, Pat?
Hi there. I have a problem.
All right.
And that is spam callers call me, I would say, no less than 3 to 4 times a day.
Well, Pat,
I'm
let
on
me
the
tell
do
you.
not call list.
You called.
I checked it out.
You called the right number, Pat. I'm telling you here, you couldn't have gotten the greatest or a better expert if you tried. Get ready for a master's level course in what to do about spam callers here from Deputy Dimitri. When every spam operator wakes up in the morning, the thing they fear the most is that they're going to accidentally call Dimitri. So
I'm going to give him Dimitri's number.
No, you got it. That's exactly what you should do.
Is this one of my defendants calling?
I'm going to say, call Dimitri. And you know what they're doing? I have a business, and they want to offer me loans.
I'm sure.
I don't do that.
I hear you.
And they say the same thing. They call from different phone numbers every day, every time, and it's usually a different AI voice.
Yep.
In the beginning, it was the same voice, and now it's a girl. Now then it's a man, and now it's an older sound. I mean, I just hit delete, or I don't even answer, but they leave a voicemail.
Dimitri,
it's infuriating.
Take it away, my friend.
Pat, what do you want to do? Do you want the calls to trickle down to almost nothing, or do you want to start suing these people?
Well, I'm ready for anything. I mean, if it's worth suing, I'm considering it, because I've saved all these voicemails. They're still, I'm sure no one can leave a voicemail to me anymore because they're plugged and I haven't deleted them. But I just want to I just want to get off. I don't even answer them. In the beginning, I was like, answer him. No, take me off your list. No, take me off your list. I'd still get them. But anyway.
Did you enter your phone?
What would you do?
Well, did you enter your phone on both of the no-call lists? And by that, I mean the federal no-call list and Colorado's own.
I believe I'm on every no-call list I can be on.
Well,
but I'll double check again.
Yeah, you can go onto both of those, check to see if you're on those.
Does that work for both an individual and a business?
Individual only. However, in other words, the distinction is residential phone number versus a business phone number, right?
And Pat, which kind of phone number? Is it only your business that you're getting these calls, or your individual numbers?
It is. I have taken over the business line as my only line because CenturyLink, after the fire, has never put back our line. So I only have a cell phone.
Yeah,
so I use both of them.
That is presumptively a residential number, right?
Okay.
So as long as you're not advertising your cell phone on your website as your business number, then it's going to be presumed to be a residential number. So that is a protected number on both of those lists. Now, one of the problems in your particular case is you're getting calls not from the actual banks. You're getting calls from these lead generator companies. And I guarantee you, they're offshore. They're in Pakistan, they're in India, they're in Canada, who knows where they are. So you're not going to be able to track one of those down. However, if you answer and feign interest and they transfer your call, it's called live transferring. And if they transfer your call to somebody who actually does work at a lender based here in the United States, or better yet, somewhere here in Colorado, you can sue the person that call was transferred to. Now, I don't bother with that because it's hard to track them down, and it's difficult for me to sue somebody in Louisiana. But here's what I did that really worked well for me. Like you, I used to get a lot of spam calls and texts on my cell phone. I was probably, John, how many do you get in a day?
I don't even count them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get that many calls, maybe 2 or 3 a day of a call, but I get a lot of text and I get a lot of emails off of my website, but those are business, inquiries, if you will. So it's hard to really say. I get a lot on my cell phone from things like the sheriffs trying to get donations and then political crap and stuff.
Well,
I mean, that's what I get on the cell phone.
Here's where I was going with this. I used to get between 8 and probably 15 spam calls and messages per day on my cell phone.
You too?
The moment I filed my first lawsuit, this worked so much better than being on any no-call list. The moment I filed my first lawsuit, I started getting my phone number placed on these blacklists. There are people who kind of comb through court records and they see who's suing whom for what, and they distribute that as both leads for attorneys, I assume, and people like that. But they also compile blacklists of litigious call recipients.
The real do not call list.
That's the real do not call list. So, John, take a guess how many spam calls and texts I get in a typical week now.
I'm guessing it's close to 0, but we've got to go to a break right quick. Pat, hang on just a second. We want to explore this a little bit more. We just got to do a hard break. We'll be right back.
If that is Mark, chances of him hanging up
10 a day?
At least for
Hi.
They want.
Does your business number go to your cell?
No.
No?
No, this is just
you really going to hang around 5 minutes?
Are we on another 5?
Same thing.
5.5.
It drives
me. I've had the same
That's
cell
average.
number.
I thought we were just on
Me
one.
too. 30 years.
Yes.
All of them are that like.
Really?
Problems.
Nothing. Hey.
I must be new here.
Not new. I guess I just never noticed they're all 5 minutes.
Without changing it, So I just don't worry about it. I mean, I get calls all the time.
Yeah, I just got to. I mean, it's like it just started. I don't know, maybe 3-4 months ago, to where it's out of control. Somehow I got on a list, and now I'm on the list.
I think sometimes, like, you know what messes me up? Like, I get on lists that I just have no business being on. Like, in my business, we frequently have to deal with Medicare because my clients are on Medicare.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not on Medicare.
Right.
I don't have Medicare, period.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I don't give a flying you-know-what about open enrollment next time because I'm not going to change my Medicare settings, right?
Right.
But good God, the fact that we have a Medicare account with my office,
right?
I'm on every goddamn list in the world, and man, they light me up. Whatever time of the year it is for open enrollment, I get 10 a day on that alone.
Wow,
at least that many, and they're all the same, and they're like you're saying, they're generators where. They're like, would you like to talk about changing your Medicare plan? I'm like, yeah, that sounds great, you know?
That's what I was hoping for.
And I'm trying to get through to somebody, and they weed me out at some point. They're like, you know, I just sound too enthusiastic or not old enough or something, ease them off, and they're like, oh, we better bail on this
Do
guy.
they just suddenly hang up?
Mm-hmm. Just disconnects.
Once you feign interest, and they're going to transfer you to a live agent, to the ultimate recipient, their system also checks to see if you're on a no-call list. And if it's on a no-call list, the system automatically...
That's when they decide to not call you.
Yeah, that's...
Interesting.
Yeah.
The other thing I would get is, and I tried my ass off to get through to the live people. There was somebody that was going around and figured, I don't know how they came up with this data, but they bought lists of everybody that had been in car accidents. Okay?
Wow.
And they were calling people like 6 months after their accident, like, did you know you could get money for your accident? If you're interested, press 1 or something. And that is going right down the alley of like unauthorized practice of law and illegal soliciting and all that stuff. So I was just sure that there was going to be some damn law firm that was buying those leads and that I would get to eventually, you know? And so I'm just like, let me say yes or whatever. I'd get through as far as I could go. Like, what was the date of your accident? I'd give them everything, you know? Were you injured? Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm still hurting today, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I never could get through. I tried it 10 times, you know? I never could get through to the final, let me get you to the attorney to talk to, you know?
That's pretty sophisticated.
They weeded me out every single time. And then finally those calls stopped, but because they were illegal as shit. I mean, there was no two ways about it. I can't imagine that somebody had to get through. I guarantee you any attorney that got that call was trying to get through to find out who it was, you know?
Absolutely.
Of course.
And somebody had to get through or something because they were calling a lot. Because I'm on every freaking, you know, database of, I mean, I've had, I don't even know how many thousands of claims opened up with insurance companies, you know?
Troubleshooter Show.
You know, every client I've ever had, I open a claim and I'm on their database in some way or another. So I'm on the, we got to call this guy list.
Yeah.
We show that you had 732 claims
last year.
It was a rough year.
This is the unluckiest guy in the world.
Dimitri, I just looked up to see if I was on the do not call list, and I registered in April of 2005.
Yeah.
So how come they're calling me? No, I'm just kidding.
No, we said federal or state?
ACO plans.
State has its own. So if you're going to sue under the state law, you need to be on the state list.
Yeah, that's going to be paragraph 2 of your complaint that you'll need to file with your lawsuit.
I'm going to get him to practice law without a license.
So when I tell people that I'm just describing my experience, not telling you what to do, does that protect me from successful charges of practice of law?
You're not practicing law.
Yeah. Just by discussing my experience, I'm fine.
Yeah, that's what I do. You know, you could do like Mark, and, you know, that didn't work out. So I'll just leave it at that. You know?
Yeah, I don't want to do it like Mark. When he actually sat at the plaintiff's table.
What did you think was going to happen?
And then they played.
Just like, who are you?
Then they played the radio show to the judge.
Didn't they?
Yeah. Because he was going out in the hallway and doing live updates, and somebody heard him and recorded it.
I remember that.
He walks back in the courtroom, and the judge and these other attorneys are huddled, and they're over something, and then everybody stops and looks at him. So he knew something was up.
That's hilarious.
All right, so I'll do Compass real quick at the end of this commercial.
Do it. We got another one in 5 there.
Guaranteed.
Compass Office Insurance Group, 303-996-9000. Call Brian Burns. He's our insurance expert and a frequent guest on this show, not just for home and hail insurance, business, auto, life insurance, renter's insurance, umbrella, motorcycle, even flood insurance. Call Brian at 303-996-9000 or go to theinsurancehelpcenter.com.
Welcome back. It is Wednesday afternoon, and we're getting close to wrapping this up. This is John Fuller at the Troubleshooter Network, sitting in for Tom and Mark, and we are just cranking through the calls here. We've got Pat that just called a moment ago, and Pat was here talking about spam calls and what to do and what no-call list you can be on and everything else, and we're going to get back to Pat, but in the meantime, Eric has called in with a comment on spam. So, Eric, join the conversation. What is going on with you?
Well, first of all, I hate spam. I swear to God, when we were in Hawaii, they had spam and eggs. They had spam and other kind of meals.
Then they wrap it in that seaweed on that rice and put it on the dashboard. And yeah, I'm with you, man. I don't like that stuff either. So,
who orders meat in a can, for God's sake?
I mean, people like Dimitri apparently likes the spam.
Too
I don't
damn
know.
salty.
Well, no, you got to get the spam light because it's got half the salt of the regular stuff.
Oh, come on. And then they've got like spam bacon flavor and all that. Who eats that stuff?
I don't.
You know?
I want the classic low salt spam. It is delicious.
Right. So I am with you, Eric, but did you have a call relative to spam phone calls, or just want to chime in on the can or meat in a can there?
No, the meat in the can is absolutely horrible. I do have a suggestion though for the show.
Yes, sir.
So, I think probably the most handsome person on that show is probably Mark. By any means, he's extremely handsome, highly intelligent, and probably one of the best people in the world.
You think, Eric? It sounds like you've been in the soup again already today. I mean, are you down in the paint already, as they say?
No, we are not in Alaska, nor are we drinking beer.
Yeah, it really sounds like you're under the weather under the influence of something there, sir. But we appreciate you calling. And next time, try to sober up before you call into the show. How about that?
And Eric, I recommend you take a look at collared shirts too.
Yeah, that is a thing. Are you wearing a collared shirt today, sir?
Yes, I am. It buttons up 3 deep because it's cold as hell here.
Well,
hey guys, seriously, this is Mark. You guys have been killing it. I got 3 good emails today on you guys.
Wow, how many bad emails today about us guys?
I didn't want to go down that.
Just the 3 good ones, but well, I didn't.
John,
yes, sir.
John, you guys are really doing good, and I do appreciate it. Dimitri coming back in with that compass spot, that was pretty good, man. I like that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I've been practicing in front of my cats, and I'm getting more polished by the day.
How do you guys think, if you had to choose one board op, Dragon or Shannon, which one would you choose? I'm just curious.
Right, that's such a hard decision to make. There's so many positive attributes over both of them here. I just don't know that you could really narrow it down to one or the other.
That's like being asked to pick your favorite fruit.
That's like your favorite kid. Which one is really your favorite? You know, it's just impossible.
So let me bring up one other thing. Chris is still there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm here. From discountbath.com.
Chris, you guys nailed our bathroom. I'm not kidding you. You did a bang-up job, but what Suzanne and I are waiting for is next time Britt Floyd is around, the 4 of us will go see a show.
Yep, we'll buy tickets. They go on sale in December.
Where are they going to be playing?
Red Rocks.
No kidding. At Red Rocks?
Yep.
Britt Floyd.
Yep, every year.
I did not know that, man.
It's a good show if you like Pink Floyd.
Are you guys giving a lot of time and effort to our guest today, our esteemed guest that loves Britt Floyd?
We were until Eric called in
we had to wake him up a time or two when he's sitting over here, you know.
All right, gentlemen, have a good day.
Thanks, Eric. You too. Have a great trip.
Eric, have a great trip home, okay?
Yeah, it's about 4 days away. Bye.
Indeed. All right, cool. That, for the listeners, was the great and wonderful Mr. Marc Magers, appearing by telephone incognito as Eric, a spam-hating Alaskan, calling in to share with us his disdain for the tasty canned meat that we all know and love.
But I was 100% completely fooled that it was Mark. I was wow. He was really good at disguising his voice in there.
Yeah, he can't do anything about that perfect diction of his, though.
Well, again, now you're going off the rails again there, Dimitri. We're not going to talk about things like that. Keep it clean, would you?
All right.
Gosh. So, Chris, let's talk about your company a little bit more here before we wrap things up. We've got one more break to take, and when I come back, I want you to tell the listeners about your special.
Okay.
What that entails, and how it might, what the best candidate for that would be. Okay.
Okay.
We'll do that when we come back. Thanks a lot. I didn't know that was Mark either for the first probably 30 seconds of it.
Did you?
Then I put it together. So.
That's about how long it took me. But his voice is like really unmistakable.
Yeah, it's pretty distinct.
So it was his voice that gave him away. Plus his history of doing this.
Yeah.
He's done this before.
I thought you guys knew right away.
You really knew right away?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Man, he always sounds like a smoker on the phone.
Yeah.
He's got that smoker's voice, but only on the phone.
Probably the only people in Alaska listening to this show today.
Probably is. Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Yeah. I have a customer right now. We just put in this beautiful shower. She was roughly $7,000, right? She says a couple days ago, she says, well, there was 2 shelves and you didn't put the shelves in, and I'm not paying you till you put the shelves in. So we just went ahead and put a couple shelves in, even though it wasn't part of the contract.
Right.
Now she's blowing us up on Facebook because we tried to collect the money. But that's not what she's saying. She's saying that we're liars and our office is rude. She saw our ad for $98.88, and that's not what you offered me. And I'm like, so I guess I got to respond. But, well, you upgraded the shower pan to a curbless shower pan, and you added a bench, and you put in 2 grab bars, and added a shower door.
I saw one of the pictures on your website where you pointed out that the customer supplied a particular material. Do you know which one?
On my website? Oh, no, but one of my guys may have done that. Tom, is it ugly or something? Yeah. Yeah.
I cracked up when I saw that. My wife even saw it. She's like, I can see that.
Yeah. I have to ask about that because I didn't realize, I've gotten to a point where I'm not in the weeds with all this stuff, but that's actually kind of hilarious. Tom's a funny dude, my guy that does a lot of our marketing, and he probably is the one that did that. It's like, the part we did is really good. Mm-hmm. we did this shower recently. It was, we did a great job with it, and we hit her desired outcome.
This one here.
Oh, yes, that was customer supply. As a matter of fact, that's one of those jobs where it got started before we got there.
Oh,
really?
Yes.
My question to him about his fixtures versus Home Depot. For 10% of the price.
They're not my fixtures, but yeah.
But I think that's a valuable information.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, John?
What did you ask?
You're talking about
plumber offered me a new shower for $700, but I can buy one for $69 at Home Depot.
Right.
And my question for Chris was, what's going to go wrong for me on the way back from
nothing
Home
at all.
Depot?
You should do it. Get the Home Depot.
But go such a huge delta.
Make sure you have a pointed wooden stick when you get to doing the plumbing.
Every time I take a shower,
just in case. You never know.
I still think it's technically a good idea that I had.
It beats nothing.
A pointy wooden dowel and a hammer.
Yeah, that won't hurt when it comes flying out.
That water pressure isn't enough to.
Hopefully, your Maine Coon jungle cat's not in the vicinity of that.
Jungle cat.
In the vicinity of that wooden stake when it comes flying out at Mach 2 or something,
Pointy end first.
I need to watch that movie again.
What movie was? Oh, yeah, Caddyshack, yeah. But it's like that arrow sound,
Oh, yeah.
Like in the cartoons?
Yes.
That's the sound that was.
Is that what you were going for?
Yeah.
You ended
the
up
pointy
with Chevy
stick
Chase,
flying back at me.
Chase putting. But it's
that was no. That's a different sound.
No, it's not.
My sound was which is yeah, but that's my sound. For an arrow sticking in the wall.
Get it right.
Chevy Chase's sound was no.
Neither one sounds like an arrow.
Well, they both sound like an arrow.
He started. This one brings up. We had a doctor in here the other day that does like regenerative medicine and stuff, and so he wants to take it in the gutter. And what about boners and stuff? And so we started talking about,
the caller did.
No, this one.
Oh, yeah, but the way I presented it really fit both the topic of the day and the presentation.
Like a square peg in a round hole.
Right, I'm not going to say boner on the radio anymore.
And then, of course, Dragon starts putting a soundbite to it, and every time it came out, we kept hearing in the background.
We need more boner sound effects during the show.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, darn, more content is coming.
Right? I can only imagine.
That was Chris Fenton, Hollywood decoupling from China. Our great movies coming back and more on The Joe Pag Show. Tonight from 6 to 9 on 630 KHOW.
Chris, a couple of breaks ago, I had a question for you regarding a shower system that a plumber offered to me for $700 plus labor. And my question was, and I have a feeling I know the answer. My question was this: I can find something that looks almost identical at Home Depot for, I'm not kidding you, $69.99 minus whatever rebate I get. So what is actually going to be the significant difference between the two?
So there's an internal and an external difference, right? So what you're talking about is probably a pretty low-end shower valve or faucet or something like that. So it's going to look cheaper. It's going to be plastic or metal-coated plastic or something like that when it's that inexpensive. Inside, it's going to be plastic valve as opposed to ceramic. There's going to be a lot of differences. Now, depending on what the plumber was offering you, some of that could just be a name. Do you recall what it was?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't get that far.
Yeah.
But Chris, what's the difference? Like, what is the benefit of those more expensive guts of the thing? Like, what is ceramic going to do for me in the long run that plastic won't?
It won't wear out. It'll shut on and off. It won't develop a leak in a year or two. So this is what we tell folks, especially if it's going to be in the wall, pay for the better product.
Yeah.
Because you got to tear the wall out to fix it.
I was going to say the Home Depot one lasts just long enough to get the drywall up and the tile on and get it grouted and finished. And just when it would be expensive to have to go in there and replace it, that's when it fails.
Absolutely. And having said that, Kohler and Delta are two of the best out there. We like Delta just because there's a value to it compared to the price of Kohler, but they're both wonderful. And then you can start getting into the high-end European and those things. And now you're paying for a name.
Before we leave today, I want you to talk about your special.
Okay.
And tell us what it is, who it really would work best for, and who should be giving you a call to check into that.
Yeah, so it works best for anybody that's got an old, as Tom calls them, shubs, but the tub shower combo in the hall bathroom.
Okay.
So a lot of folks want to turn that into a shower. Some folks want to keep it as a tub still. We can do both. It's the acrylic solid wall product. It's a complete shower, new valve, new shower pan, new backer board, new walls. It's and a shower curtain, and it's $98.88. So, and that works for anybody that's got like the old square tiles and they're falling off the walls, and you got the mold, or you just need to upgrade to a shower.
Now, that's not a package where you pick out everything. They still have options as far as color and pattern and stuff.
Well, there's the basic solid colors.
Okay.
So you've got that, and it comes with the Delta Chrome fixture. So everything's high end. Now it comes with one shelf, but there's upgrades that you can do from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if a customer likes everything but the fixture and they wanted to upgrade that, you can easily incorporate that into their plan.
Yeah, it's an incidental cost, and we can add that on.
Okay.
Yep.
If a customer were to call you today and say, I really want to do this, when could you get started? How far out are you guys?
We're roughly 4 to 6 weeks out.
Okay.
Wow, congratulations. That's a really great problem to have, Chris.
Yeah. And again, that's not a problem. I've been places before I had this company where we were 3 or 4 months out. So.
Right. No, that's really not unreasonable at all.
Yeah.
And then once they get started on that project, 2 or 3 days is all it really
roughly
takes?
speaking, we run into no problems, and depending on who's on the job, some guys are more efficient than others, but 3 days at the most. Yeah.
Now, how many people will you have on site to do a job like that?
Typically 1 and maybe 2.
Really?
Yeah.
So not a full crew pulling up with 6 trucks in the front yard or anything crazy like that?
Yeah, no room for them. The bathrooms are small. So
That's a good point. Chris, how do people get a hold of you?
Yep, so discountbath.com or 720-979-2322. Discountbath.com. And there is a special for listeners of the Martino Show. So,
now you mentioned it.
Well, I got to throw it in there. So,
Right.
so the shower 9888 comes with the shower bar. If you mentioned that you heard me on Martino, we're putting in the shower door for free.
Wow, hey, right on. Cool. Hey, Chris, thanks for all the information. We appreciate it. Save all your troubles for us on the Troubleshooter Show. We are here to help you, and we will be here tomorrow.
Follow Tom Martino at Real Tom Martino and stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW, KHOW.com, and on the iHeartRadio app. This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Here at the Raleigh House, our team of clinical and medical professionals provide unmatched care for depression, trauma, anxiety, and addiction. Your mental health is important to us. Let us be the place where you reconnect, find your purpose, and heal. If you or someone you love is struggling right now, we promise you aren't alone. Head to theRaleighHouse.com for more information or to speak to our amazing admissions team today. The Raleigh House. We're here for you.
For plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, think Plumbline Services with quality brands like Carrier. I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. I use Plumbline in my home. Service professionals, 25 years strong. Brought a mission of excellence, character, and ethics. Castle Rock to Fort Collins since 1998. Plumbline and Carrier. Turn to the experts. No phone call, no hassles. PlumlineServices.com.
Service at home, servants at heart. Plumbline Services.
Is it just me, or am I going crazy?
Really? You know the saying, you're out of your mind. The mind is a